Hey, so how you guys doing? My name is Neil. This is my fiance.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
And I'm going to be showing you guys the most basic fundamental stuff you need to know to survive in your first 6 months of Jiu-Jitsu. This is the knowledge that you won't find anywhere else. Like, I've looked all over the internet and I looked for like free ebooks or paid ebooks or paid things or YouTube, and you just don't find this stuff. You'll find plethora of information on how to get a choke, how to get an arm bar, how to transition from how to sweep, all this kind of stuff. But none of that's going to help you as a beginner. You need to understand the most basic fundamentals of Jiu-Jitsu first. Back. So I'll show different ways to take it back in a second, but I just want to show you what it is. This is another position you'll find yourself getting into. You're flipping, you're rolling around. You might not even know how you got into it, but next thing you know, you're in this position right here. They have their hooks in between your legs, and if they're not smart, they might actually have them locked, but you don't want to lock your legs. It's just straight down like this, feet open, and straight down to the ground. You want to point to your toes to the ground, and you get over under. The underhand, this is the overhand. No, this is called under because it's coming under her. It's coming under her arm. This one's going over her arm. And it's also called the seat belt. The one that's under, right here, under her arm, grabs my wrist, boom, like that, monkey grip. Monkey grip means my thumb is going over, I don't know if you can see it. So right now, this is when you want to spend your energy. You don't want to spend your energy, you don't want to be relaxed here and just let them plow right through you, pull you in, and then you're here, and then they pull you into guard, because then now you have to work on using so much more energy to get your head out. So say wrap my head around tight. You have to worry about getting your head out here, get your head up, strip off the arms, get your hands on their hips, stiff arm, and that's what we're going to go through. So this video is for anyone that is already in Jiu-Jitsu right now and you just feel like you're just getting arm barred left and right or choked out and all this kind of stuff, and you just feel like you're just getting beat up and maybe you even want to quit because of it. This is going to help you to understand what's going on, how to stay relaxed and calm, and so forth. Now, I remember I went to this purple belt, and I was one of the 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and I went to this purple belt and I said, hey, what's the number one piece of advice you would give me? And he said, the number one piece of advice I would give you, and I wish I'd give myself, is he said, if I could rewind time back to when I first started Jiu-Jitsu, he said, I wish I would have spent my whole first year or even the whole first 2 years doing nothing but working on my defense. How to defend myself and not get submitted. And I was like, wow, that's coming from a purple belt, and it takes a long time to get that purple belt. I'm like, that's really interesting. And I took that to heart, and I actually heard that advice from a few other people like Henry Gracie. And it's super important to know how to defend yourself and how to stay calm, because you know what's happening around you. Because if you're calm, you can sense the slightest little movements of the person's body, and if you understand what they're doing, you can know how to defend it. Now, I can't obviously teach everything they're going to be doing, but I'm going to teach you the most fundamental stuff, so that when you're against another white belt, most likely that's who you'll be rolling against. You might roll against a blue belt. If you ever roll against somebody other than a white belt, be sure, actually, right away when you go to roll with someone, this will help you a lot as well. Be sure to say, hey, you know what, I'm really new to all this, and all I really know is defense. I don't really know that very well. I just want to work on my defense. Do you mind? Is that okay? I don't know a lot of submissions.
Right.
And so you're just trying to work on your defense. That immediately puts them to the role of teacher, and they're more likely to help you doing what you're trying to do, rather than them just trying to smash on you. So if you're just like, hey, you want to roll? They might take that as, oh, this white belt thinks he's somebody, and just try to smash you, and just try to really work you and get you into a lot of bad positions, and you're sore the next day. It really sucks. But if you approach them in a different way, it'll really help you get more out of the session. Because if you have no idea what's going on, you're just rolling around and you're just doing stupid stuff because you don't know what you're doing, you're not learning anything. You're not developing. You're not moving anywhere. All you did is got beat up.
Yeah.
And you might slowly learn something like, hey, maybe I should stop putting my head right there because every time I do, I get choked. You learn little things here and there. But this knowledge you're going to learn in this video is going to teach you how not to be that person. You're not going to seem like a beginner. When you get into class, When you go through all this and learn this basic information, it's going to teach you how to defend yourself so much better that you're not going to seem like that total beginning noober that does have no idea what he's doing, like leaving his arms out there to be grabbed and armbarred and things like that. So I know kind of long introduction, so then back to who this is for. This is for anyone, like I said, that is in Jiu-Jitsu right now and they don't want to just keep getting submitted all the time. You need this information. They don't teach this to you anywhere. Like I haven't found it anywhere. And if you go to a different, and even the Gracies say, hey, when you go to our academy even, they're like, we don't have time for every new student to come in and teach them the most basic fundamental stuff. So basically when you come into class, you're learning whatever they're learning. If they're drilling arm bars, that's what you learn. Okay, time to roll. What you don't know anything about Jiu-Jitsu, all you know is how to do an arm bar, and you probably don't remember how to do that right. And then now you're rolling with someone, you have no idea what you're doing, so you're flipping, you're flopping, you're rolling around, no idea what's happening, you're getting choked, you're getting arm barred, and like, ooh, that was fun, you might never even come back again. Most people that join Jiu-Jitsu, according to statistics, don't last the first 6 months. So this will hopefully help you be one of those people that do get past that 6 months. The other person it's for is obviously for that person that hasn't joined Jiu-Jitsu yet. Hopefully this will make you want to join Jiu-Jitsu. It's also especially for those that have joined Jiu-Jitsu and you were one of those people that quit. Hopefully this video will help you come back to Jiu-Jitsu because now you understand at least the fundamentals and be like, hey, maybe give that a try again. Maybe this will help me out. Now I'm not gonna. You'll feel like, hey, now I'm not just gonna get submitted all the way. Now, of course, the best thing to do is try to find a partner, a girlfriend, a friend, a roommate, brother or sister, a family member, a cousin, anybody that you can say, hey, can you just like work with me a little bit? I need to drill this stuff. And it won't take you very long to drill the things I'll be showing you. Right, okay, so that's that. Now, the first thing is that you know about Jiu-Jitsu is what is Jiu-Jitsu? What is the whole purpose of Jiu-Jitsu? The point of Jiu-Jitsu is, at least for sport Jiu-Jitsu, and that's what we're going to be doing when you're going into one of these gyms, unless you're going to like maybe a gym that's specifically Jiu-Jitsu for street application, for fighting application. I'll be coming out with a course on that on Udemy that's to be all about that. So if you're all into that, then just sign up to, I guess, one of my newsletters, or just, I don't know. You'll see it because I'll put a piece of it on. Subscribe to this channel, whatever channel you're watching this video on. Subscribe to the channel. And when I come out with the course, I'll have a little trailer for it, and it's all going to be about Jiu-Jitsu for street application, and it's different than anything else that you've seen out there before. Very, very practical. Been in a lot of street fights in my life. I'll get into that into the course, but anyway. So, sport Jiu-Jitsu, what's important that there's 4 major positions that your opponent is trying to get you in, and the reason why they're trying to get you in those positions is so they can submit you. Because those positions make it the easiest for them to submit you in. So what Jiu-Jitsu is all about is attacking the neck, choking them out, either by pressing pressure on their trachea with like a guillotine choke, which would be like coming underneath here and then pulling up. And so it's like this here, and you're pulling up with this blade of your wrist against their trachea, and it hurts really bad if you actually crush the trachea that way. And of course, tap right away. Especially if you're a new person, don't try to fight and get out of it, just tap. There's no reason to hurt yourself. One time, I decided I knew how to get out of it, so I thought I could, and I just went too long, and I did manage to get out of it, but for like a week, it felt like really bad strep throat, like every time I swallowed, and it sucked. So it was just a really bad pain. So was it worth it? No. If it was a tournament, sure, it would have been worth it, but just for sparring, not worth it. So they get it, just tap, let go, no ego, don't worry about it, and then keep going.
Or your rib.
Yeah, or my rib. I hurt my rib one time too, really stupid.
That was for a while though. Your rib hurt you.
Yeah. And so if you feel like you're in a position that you're gonna get hurt, just hey, can we reset? You got me. It's good. There's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to learn, and if you don't, go slow at first with someone, you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to get thrown all around and not know what happened, and you learn nothing. Right. So the other thing is to attack the arms, whether it's with arm bars, which pushes the joints the opposite way they're supposed to go. So the elbow is not meant to go this way, right? So when you push this pressure up on it, it really hurts. And tap to that right away. When someone gets you that and you don't know how to get out, don't even try, just tap. There's no reason to have your arm hurt. Now, if they're smart, they're going to be gentle and slowly put the pressure on, and be like, hey, you're going to tap yet? Like, you know, so make sure to let them know you're totally new. Other way would be getting the arm to either go like back this way the wrong way, which would be Americana, which twist in here can actually cause the whole arm to pop out of its socket, or to twist back this way, which is like a Kimura, or omoplata if you're using your legs. Same thing, it just causes the arm to twist back that way. Other ones are like different kind of key locks, like the cop move, where the elbow here and here, and you push pressure between these two areas, and it causes a lot of pain. And one way, there's different ways you get, like one time you can get their hand like this trapped if they grab onto your hip, whatever, you get your hand trapped in your hip, and you can grab their arm here and just pull pressure. There's different ways to get into that move, but it is a move you can get into. Other ones are wrist locks. Usually wrist locks aren't allowed, especially, you know, for white belts, but just know that, you know, the wrist can, you know, be bent the wrong way, and that can cause a lot of pain. There's different ways to get wrist locks. The other one is to tackle the ankle. So leg locks usually attack the ankle in some way, and usually cause pressure here in your knee, because they're going to cause the foot to twist the wrong way here as they're locking this down, or they're trying to cause it to twist back this way. I'm very flexible, so it's really hard for this one to work on me. So if they get that one like this and they're pushing it back, you usually have to twist it at the same time, causing all this in here to hurt. And just tap to those. There's no reason to sustain energy. You know, it's just you're trying to learn. You're not trying to get hurt. Maybe during a match and you really think you can get out of it, you know, but that's going to be down the road. You don't want to go and join a match. You want to do jiu-jitsu for at least 6 months before you go do any sort of tournament, even if it's a beginner tournament. So basically they're trying to attack your legs, your arms, your neck. Those are the main things. They're trying to submit you. They're trying to get you to submit. That's the whole point. Unlike wrestling, where it's like you're just trying to pin them to the mat. And so if you come from a wrestling background, don't feel like you can't be in your back, because in jiu-jitsu, your back position is one of your dominant positions. There's a lot of different submissions you can get to from the back. Okay, now that we know that those are the main positions they're going to be trying to get us in, let's just go ahead and look at, those are the main things that they're trying to do to us. Let's go through the 4 major positions you'll find yourself in that they're trying to get you in, so they can get one of those types of locks on you, one of those types of submissions on you. What this video is not going to show you is a bunch of transitions from one to the other, a bunch of submissions. All that's already on YouTube. But I will show you a basic drill that you absolutely should do. And every beginning jiu-jitsu should do this, but they don't. And it's because they don't have time for every person. They know that most students come in, they give you a free month anyway. They know most of those people aren't going to even come back. They might not even make it through the first free month. They already know that. So it's a waste of their time to try to teach you this basic stuff. And for me, it's not, though. And I think this, like, when I go to jiu-jitsu and I'm like, see a new person come in, I just feel so bad, because I'm like, that person knows nothing about jiu-jitsu, and they're just going to throw them in and let them roll with somebody, and they're not going to learn nothing from it, except for that really sucked. I didn't like how that felt. And so it should be something that you learn right away. They should have like maybe one person, one more, like a slightly more advanced student, or even if he's a white belt, as long as he understands the basics, he's learned this information I'm about to teach you, that I am teaching right now, that he can take that student aside and just real quickly run it through him, or go, hey, you know what? Before you start class, we want you to go and watch this video, like a video like this one. Make a video like this one, like, we just want you to go watch this video, or right now, real quick, you know, go watch it on your phone, whatever, and then come back tomorrow to class. They're more likely to stay. So jiu-jitsu guys out there, if you're watching this video, feel free to use it for that purpose, or make your own like this and show the most basic stuff so your students stop leaving. You'll have a higher, rate of people staying if they know the basic stuff first. Right, so the 4 positions are these. Let's go and go through them. So the first position is, dominant position would be the mount. We'll show how to get into it in a second. And then we'll also show how to get out of those positions, because that's really important too. And then we'll show that too, but let's just show the 4 major positions. And then I want to show you also your 3 major defenses when someone is smashing on you. And I'll show you what I mean by smashing. So full mount position looks like this here. So it's when they're on you like this, they're usually going to have their hooks in, and hooks in mean their legs are coming in between your legs like this here. Sometimes they'll spar your legs up like this. Most of the time, if they're more advanced and it's better, they'll take their toes and point them straight towards the ceiling. Their hips are going to drive straight down. Now the reason why I'm going to explain each position and how to get into it properly is, 1, now you know what they're trying to do to you and why they're trying to get that position and what their goal is. Two is because you're going to want to try to get to one of these positions, and so it's good to know how to do it properly. So when you're in this position, you want to take your hips, you want to drive all your weight should be here in your hips, not in your arms. In fact, you should go just like float freely. Put a little pressure on me. Hold me up just a little bit. And with your arms, baby.
This?
Yeah, frame. So you should go just float like this on top of them, because all your weight is on there. All your weight.
I think I'm doing it wrong here. Not do it. Not do it. Just press it.
So what? She's going to use her elbows real
Like
quick.
this, yeah. This is.
Now normally she would have to do this.
I was like this.
Normally she wouldn't have to do this, right? This is her. I'm going to use her elbows. Her elbows not just like let them relaxed.
Oh.
So you're going to hold your weight. My weight right here now. See that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it helps a lot more
Takes
than
no-
just going.
Yeah, this takes no energy. It's like a stick.
This is like.
It's like a stick right here, and just holds my weight there. Now normally she wouldn't have to do this if she
I was
were
like this.
more my size, but I'm like twice her size, so
I'm really small.
me really smashing my weight over
Weight-wise.
is not a good idea. I'm gonna do it.
No,
So you should be able to just lay on the person like this without them framing. If she doesn't frame them, I'm gonna be smashing
not do it.
like her boobs and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that helps a lot more. Like
Right.
you can talk without
So
going
all your weight should be here on their hips. You're trying to pin their hips down. Now the next thing after the hook is, go ahead, Loco,
Okay.
is getting an arm underneath their neck. This is how they recommend it. Arm underneath the neck, one arm stiff, armed out. Hooks in high towards the ceiling. Right here, boom. This is a hard position to get out. So if they're trying to twist you, your hooks go in. So this is the position they're trying to get you in. Now the reason why they're trying to get you in this position is one, for example, if they make the mistake of, let's say, trying to push on this hip here, and I can grab this wrist and I can pull it out, and I can slide it to the ground, and I can hold it here. Now I can slide it here, and now it's hard for her to get her wrist out. I'll show you this. This is Americana. I can feed her this hand here and hold it, get my hooks in, keep her down, she can't move. Slide my hand underneath here, boom, monkey grip, monkey grip. Then all I have to do is quickly wait for her to turn, try to do anything, and then hold my hooks in, and then get my arm around her head and put it back here, and then pull it down to my knee here. And then this hook right here goes in deep, this opposite hook. So the opposite leg, the opposite foot to my hand here. I'm going to pull my down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin her hand to the ground.
It hurts.
And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to slide her hand down and lift my shoulder up. And that causes a lot of pain right in here. And just tap to it right away. There's no reason to go through a bunch of pain.
Those are awful.
So that's just one reason. Another reason why would be if they try to like push up here
That would be armbar all
like
day.
that, and if I can grab an arm here and pull up, I can push on their chest here. Now, of course, if they are female, this might feel awkward and weird. So if you feel awkward rolling with a female, just know that they are thinking that you're feeling awkward.
Yeah.
And they're there to wrestle and to roll. Most women in Jiu-Jitsu have no problem rolling with guys. If you see them rolling with other guys, it means they have no problem with it. And they're going to be used to you're putting pressure on their chest here. And so they're going to put the pressure on the chest here. They're going to put all their weight and be on the chest as they come up and around and by trapping this arm inside here like this. I'm not putting my pressure on it right now. And then they're coming around here. And then from here, I'm going to swing my foot all the way around. And have some pressure on my leg here a little bit, but actually I keep my knee in tight. Some pressure is going to come around this way as I come around. But I'm going to actually come boom. Then I can lay my foot like this. And I'm going to sit on her body. And as I sit on her body, I'm going to slide down till I'm like that. Boom. That way this is really tight to me. And then I'm going to take the arm and we'll pull it back. Here, holding with a baseball grip so their elbow can't come up. I don't want to pull it this way because then it's like that. Instead, I'm going to pull it toward my other side, this side over here. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to get myself tight. I'm going to pinch my legs against her body tight this way. That is down this way. I'm also going to put my feet toward the ground so if she tries to sit up, she can't. Alright, and then I'm going to pinch my knees together so she can't get her arm out. And then I pull and I lift my hips up. And it makes the arm hyperextend. So that's another move they might try to get into. Anyway, that's just a quick overview. That was it. There's tons of videos out there learning how to do proper arm bars that are closer. You can see better. I'm just showing you that from that position, there are many attacks they can get on you. And so that's just a couple of them. The next position, since we're right here, is side mount. So traditionally it's a knee against the shoulder area and a knee against the hip area. And then to hold this person down and you can keep them from, because one thing they're going to try to do, this is what as a beginner that you might feel you might want to do, and as a beginner you should never do this, is they start turning away from me. Because sometimes, boom, right away I'm going to start taking their back, okay? So don't roll away from your opponent. Now there are advanced ways to roll away. I'm not saying that you'll never do it. Go back to the section. So there are advanced reasons to roll away, but as a beginner, you don't want to be doing that yet. So you're going to be probably trying toward them. One of your main defenses they're going to have up is, hold on.
No.
One of the main defenses they're going to have up is this right here.
Oh, yeah.
They're also going to try to turn on their side toward their opponent a little bit. Right, like that. Now I'm going to come here, and I'm going to come under, and like this. So I'm under one arm, and I'm here, and all my pressure is tight on them, and I have them tight here. This elbow is keep them from turning away from me, or from even turning into me. If I keep all my weight smashed down, try to turn into me, like shrimp out, it makes it really hard from the shrimp out. I'll tell you what shrimp out is in a little bit. Now from here, there are a lot of submissions as well. There's the same submission here, where they can grab the arm, they can come under, like this, over, grab the arm here, and then since they're from the side, it's really easy to put pressure up here. All they have to do is come out, lay one foot out like this, against their hips, or they can just come like this way a little bit, but they want to be kind of sideways, and kind of have some weight so they can't get out, and then it's just, and it's really easy. So that's one submission they can do from side. Now, there's many other ones. They can from side. They can get a deep hook from here. You mess around, you mess up, and put their arm around them, and then all of a sudden they grab your arm here, they control it, and they pull it here, and then bam, they switch the hook, and now they got a deep hook on the arm. And this deep hook right here sets up for an arm bar, so they can actually sit up here, and they can come around and quickly come across the head, hold the leg here, and pull you toward them. And as they do that, they can shoot this other leg up and through, and then get an arm bar. So that's one form of side control.
Did you do it for me?
Let's show side control from this way.
My head facing towards the wall over here.
Yeah. Actually, let's do it this way.
So like this?
Your head's facing that way. This way.
Oh, right.
Okay, so just an idea what it looks like is here and here to keep them from turning into me. And I'm going to lay my pressure on them this way. And I don't want to dedicate too much pressure. I kind of want to keep my pressure kind of even. Wide base here so they can't turn into me. And they also can't roll me over. So if they try to hug me tight, like get over and under me, and try to roll me over, like try to roll me over that way.
This way, towards the window?
Yeah, like that. Push off one foot. And Rich, I'm staying tight here so I can squat out and now they can't turn me over. So this is a really down position. And there's different ways to get into submissions from here. Most people that are going to be trying from here is to go for a full mount. One thing you might do is modify it here. You come here. If the person tries to get their knee down flat to the ground, and then their knees are trying to come underneath my leg. And so if their knee comes underneath my leg, right there, see there's a little space, and lift my knee up, lift my leg up. Boom. Now once they get the leg underneath, they can take the other leg and put it in here, all in between my stomach.
Like this.
And shrink that away from me.
So I know.
And bam, and now they can actually, if they want to, they can get me into guard. And so then I'd have to try to defend that. So instead, come back over. So another thing you do then instead is, if you feel that happening, let's go straight here. This is also another really strong. This leg stays out flat and hard on the ground, and this leg stays here like this for proper control. So you have really good control right here. And from here you can do different submissions, and then they might even come like this here. And this is another modified side mount. I'll lift you up, and from here they can actually do this one chest compression. A lot of people have seen it before. Let's go back that way a little bit. Yeah. A lot of people have seen it before on like metaboars and things like that, and they didn't understand why. They thought the person tapped. They thought it was a neck crank. They thought it was pulling on the spine right here. But actually, if you're in this position, and I lay all my weight against her rib cage, so I take my side and I put it all the way across her ribs right here, really tight, and then I pull up on the head as I'm pushing down up at the same time.
It's like a stone. crusher.
It makes it really hard to breathe.
It's a stomach crusher.
And it shortens the entire breath. It makes it really hard to breathe. If you're already tired, you can tap to it. That's happened in Metamorphs, where someone tapped to it and they thought it was a neck crank, but it wasn't. They were tapping to that. So those are some of the positions, side positions that might be trying to get you into. Of course, another one is taking your back. So I'll show different ways to take the back in a second, but I just want to show you what it is. This is another position that you'll find yourself getting into. You're flipping, you're rolling around. You might not even know how you got into it, but the next thing you know, you're in this position right here. They have their hooks in between your legs, and if they're not smart, they might actually have them locked, but you don't want to lock your legs. It's just straight down like this, feet open, and straight down to the ground. You want to point to your toes to the ground, and you get over under. The underhand, this is the overhand. Notice this is called under because it's coming under her. It's coming under her arm. This one's going over her arm. And it's also called the seat belt. The one that's under, right here, under her arm, grabs my wrist, boom, like that, monkey grip. Monkey grip means my thumb is going over. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's going over. It's not coming under. So this is C grip. It's a C. Monkey grip is your thumbs like that. So your thumb is going over the wrist as well, not underneath it. So if it's underneath it, C grip, over it is monkey grip. Monkey grip is stronger in this position, bam. The reason why is C grip is easier for her to rip my hand away. This is stronger to pull this hand in tight. And their goal from here is to be most likely to rear naked choke you. And so that's going to be, as they try to strip that away, they're going to strip the hand away. I'm going to come in tight like this, and I can pull this arm now. I take this hand, I can slide it behind her head, and then hold on my bicep. All I have to do now is pull my shoulders back. I bite down hard with my feet towards the ground, and just pull my shoulders back. And it's really easy. You want to make sure your elbow is lined up. Your elbow is lined up with your chin. So if it's too much offset like this, the choke isn't like this. You're not trying to take your forearm and push it into their trachea. Although you can choke, you can get someone to submit that way, but that's not your goal. With the rear naked choke, they're trying to choke off your arteries, and by choking off your arteries, it'll make you pass out usually within 7 seconds if it's really tight and strong. Sometimes it can take a little longer, but typically it takes about 7 seconds, and then bam, you're out. And so most schools teach this, and they should. After 10 seconds, if the person hasn't tapped, let it go. You're training, you're not trying to kill each other. So it comes deep. You take this arm and you shoot it in deep. So your elbow is lined up with their chin. That's what they're trying to do. And then your hand goes on your bicep. This hand goes right behind their head. I like my back of my hand, so I can hide it behind their head and put my head here so they can't reach back. Try to reach back and strip my hand out. It makes it really hard for them to reach back and strip my hand out. Then I just shrug my shoulders back and up. And then boom. So I don't want a bit too much pressure on the wrist.
I was gonna tap, but I couldn't because I was trying to fight your arm.
I'm just trying to. That's another position I'm trying to get you in. Most likely though, they're going to fall to one side, the other side anyway.
Definitely choking.
So they're either going to fall to their strong side or their weak side. Their weak side opens up a lot more position. So once they get in this position, I recommend purposely make them fall to their strong side. Strong side meaning the side that has the arm that's over, the one that they're going to be choking with. Now it's a lot easier for you to defend this over-under here. So if I have this over-under seatbelt, you can strip this hand away and then pull this hand away and then try to turn into them. And so you want to try to get your whole entire back flat of the ground and then turn into them. And then now you end up in their guard, or you can put your foot between them and then we're back into a position of you're not getting choked out. So that's another position they're trying to get you in. So those are the major positions they're trying to get you in. Either full mount, or actually I didn't go through full guard. So another one is pulling guard. Now you think that, especially if you're a wrestler, and you're wrestling in high school and college or whatever, any wrestling background, this doesn't feel very foreign to you, but it's actually a very, very strong position to be in. So, for example, they might, let's say we're here, and I pull and I drag and pull them, and then I shoot my feet through, and I get them here. And let's go all the way back so I can't remember. Move all the way back by Maximus. Oh, by the way, this doll here is Maximus. You can buy him online. He comes from Australia, and he has full articulation. He's made of a wooden skeleton, and he's really good at practicing certain moves. I'm actually working on a jiu-jitsu doll right now that way better, and it has a metal structure, metal skeletal structure that's just like human. Has all the same human movements that we have. Really cool to practice certain moves. Well, actually, most all moves. You want to get they want to get their feet not low on the hips, but high, like this on the back. And then they're going to be holding a head, maybe a gable grip, and they'll be holding them down like this. Because this person will be trying to posture up to get out. And now I'm holding them here. If I can get an underhook here, even better. I'm holding one of their arms. Now they can't slide down in the way, and I can hold them down, make it hard for them to posture up.
But if they
Now,
do slide down, it's kind of a benefit.
now and they can even go to, like if they're really small, go to almost like a triangle on their back. You know? Anyway, the reason why this is such a powerful place to be in is, let's say they start to posture up. I let them start to posture up as a false security, and once they do, I can grab one of either arm. I can grab this arm and I can pull it this way, come up, chop her head, and push her head the opposite way. Just enough I can put this leg down here and push off it sideways, and I can put my foot over her head here and her arm, and I control her arm. Now I have an arm bar. Now typically someone would fall down like she just did. I don't know why she just did that. That's not what you want to do. You want to try to fight into it, but they're going to pinch you back, and they're going to take your arm, and they're going to pull and pinch and lift their hips up. And they're going to hyperextend your elbow right here. So it's an inside arm bar. There's also outside arm bars in here. And then a mistake that you don't want to do, if you're trying to posture up, you keep your hands on their hips when you're posturing up. Don't put your hands on the ground. If you put your hands on the ground, and I have you in this position here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack this arm. Well, maybe not always, but I'd hold for a second here so I can't get out. This foot's going to come here. I'm going to push myself up like this, and then come around. I'm going to grab the wrist. Now I can start applying a Kimura. So if I come all the way through and I grab here, we can go and we can do a Kimura. So it's kind of like Americana, but a Kimura. And so I'm going to grab the wrist here. So first I'm holding the elbow here just to secure it. Then this arm is going to slide down as I'm coming up. Control the wrist. I'm going to come all the way through here. I'm going to grab my own wrist, just like we did with the Americana. So now I'm going to come back this way. I'm going to block this hand because they're going to try to reach back here. And they're going to try to grab their own leg to protect now their thigh. Like that, to try to protect me from getting this. So if I keep this foot out here first while I'm trying to apply it, and keep this leg out here and this leg here, this makes it hard for them to grab, and then I can twist, and I can pull them down, and then I can keep working it, get my body position, right position, and then it's just a matter of pulling the arm the wrong way. And then bam, that's everything we do. So don't put your hand on the ground because you get into a Kimura. Usually some of the things I want you to be aware of is I don't want you to make these mistakes. So we'll go through more different mistakes not to make one of these positions. So those are the 4 major positions that they're trying to get you in. Another one that is kind of like a neutral position that you might want to use sometimes is if you find any time of way that they're trying to get on top of you and you're defending yourself and they try to get all on top of you, like stand up and get on top of you. If you can trap a leg as they try to come on top of you, it's come on top of me, hurry. Get going, like trying to get them out. You then have this leg locked, and now we're in half guard. And immediately I want to try to push myself into a sideways position, but this is a half guard position. Or I want to try to get myself underneath them, so I'm going to even go this way, so that I can start to work off. I can brace on their neck, push their neck out, and then I want to try to get underneath them. So come on, you gotta try to actually get in the down position here. I'm going to try to work underneath them, pushing that leg out, work underneath them here. And I'm trying to get to where I can turn them over. So I can get underneath their leg here, for example. Now I'm in a better position because now I can kind of sweep them, like locking their legs. So anyway, half guard is a fine position to be in. It's kind of a neutral position. And usually it's used to neutralize them, like getting full mount. So let's say she was getting full mount on me. Go ahead and get full mount. As you're trying to get full mount, you can go ahead and lock a leg down. Bam, now that leg's locked down, you got half guard. And then you want to turn into them, like this. So boom, you're locking the leg down, you can keep it locked down just one, but I recommend two. Really lock it down, or you can even do the triangle type lock. There's different types of locks, but basically just trapping that leg, try to get your leg out. You try to make sure they can't get their leg out. That's the whole point. And then you want to turn, maybe move their arm off you to offset their position from you, stiff arm, right? So now you can start creating space between you and your opponent. And now they're in a worse position than you are right now. And you have a greater chance of turning this into a favorable position. So for example, I get my hips up underneath there. And then I got this foot in here now. So now she's no longer in a down position. They're trying to probably get around me. That's fine. I'm going to follow them through my corner and get here. And then bam. Now I'm in a half, like, I got half butterfly guard and half mount here. Not mount, sorry, guard. So I don't have full guard yet because I don't have both feet around her. But then I can lift this up, boom, and come out, and then we got that right there. Okay, so.
You just lift me on the ground with one foot.
Yeah, so anyway. Back over here.
Then you go like this. Oh.
So those are the different positions they're trying to get you in. Now that you know what they're trying to, why they're trying to get in a position, or what positions they're trying to get in, and a little bit about why they're trying to get in those positions, it's because it's easier to get to submit you from those positions than from other positions. Now there's submissions from all different kinds of positions, like transitional positions, all this kind of stuff. And you'll learn that as you go, but just knowing these basic ones will help you tremendously. Now the next thing is how it starts. So how a sparring match starts is both people are usually sitting down. Sometimes one person might start standing or on their knees, but both people don't start standing, especially as a white belt. Maybe two blue belts or purple belts might sometimes off in the corner, start off standing, but they want to make sure that they have enough room to take each other down. Typically, it's not something you'll see very often, but anyway. But they need to practice that if they want to go, for a tournament or something. Because tournaments start standing like that. Before, I'm trying to think if we should go through this part or if we should go through the major points of defense. Let's go through the 3 points of defense you have, because most likely, especially if the opponents are bigger than you, they're going to be trying to smash and pass. And smash and pass simply means that they're going to try to smash right through you. So let's say she's going to try to smash and pass through me. And let's say I'm like here, I'm trying to defend myself. I don't know quite what I'm doing. They get up on their knees. And then their feet, whatever, and they start just smashing right through me. I have 3 levels to protect myself at this point. 1, my first level of defense is my feet. Now let's go ahead and turn so we can see what this looks like. So your feet go right on your hips like this, like a seatbelt, and I can push them back. So now, and it's good to have, if you can have 3 or 4 points of contact on the person, it's good. So this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. I have 4 points of contact right now with my opponent. This makes it really hard for them to do anything. They're obviously going to want to get their arms free. Oh, sorry. You can't hit yourself.
Yeah.
So, boom. This is 1 point of defense I have right here. Now, the reason why I want to hold on to the wrist if I can is because if not, like the wrist, they can go ahead and grab my feet and let's say pick them up, or grab my heels and pick them up and pull them and throw them to the side. And bam, now I'm here. Now once if they manage to get past your feet, the next 2 things, I consider one thing because they're basically the same distance, is if I was able to turn fast enough, I have a knee here and I have stiff arms. So stiff arms and knees are about the same distance away as you can see. This is my next line of defense. Stiff arms and knee. This keeps them away from me. So as they try to pull power into me, I have this defense right here. It makes it harder for them to get into either full mount or get around me to the side mount. I can defend myself right here. The next is, let's say they get around me, they get around my knee, and they start getting side mount, and they smash past this, my stiff arm, and they get me down here. My next and last final defense is my elbows. So now I have my elbow length. Elbows are here. Elbows act like she can push all her weight on it, and I can just hold really easily. I'm using very little energy here. This is not a position you want to be in, but if this is you don't want to let them get past this. this is like your last line of defense. If you let them get all the way past and you're here, this is very bad. You don't want to be here. It's really hard to get out of this position. There are ways to get out of it, and there's a lot of good videos out there on this. So if you do find yourself in this position, there are different ways you can get out of it. Basically, keep in mind that, especially if it's another white belt, and they manage to get here, and they're really pressing tight on you, is you're gonna step on one of your feet here, and then push this foot, and then this shoulder. So my left shoulder, my right foot, it's always opposite. I'm gonna shrimp. I'm gonna lift up, like wrestling, how you bridge, but I'm gonna bridge off this shoulder, not my neck. And I'm gonna come like this and try to get my knee inserted back between me and my opponent. And then I'm going to push off of them, try to get a foot around them. Now they're no longer got side control on me. Now I'm in a much better position. So now you've got out of that very dangerous position to where they could have full mounted you or got other kind of submission. So those are your lines of defense. So again, let's say she's standing up. I'm here. She takes the more standing up position. We're here. I can lock my feet behind. This is open guard right here. I like to, try to have this, this nether or more points of contact with your opponent is better. Or let's say I have here and I have the ankle here. You want to make sure to try to have 3 points of contact. So as a beginner, you might not know what those 2 points of contact are. So I recommend feet behind the hooks behind the knees and wrist control like this. So now you have more than 1 point of contact. Don't just lay right down. Right, it makes it easier for them to pass. You want to try to stay up here. Because from here, if you pull them, you can actually pull down, and you can actually grab their ankles here and pull them off their balance. And bam.
Well, it looks like a full guard though.
And then you can pull off balance, and you can start working on one leg at a time. Don't let them get mount on you or guard on you. But anyway, so back up. Go back to sit position.
You got me in a weird spot.
So from this, the first thing, when they're here and they're standing up, or even if they're on their knees, doesn't matter.
Okay, here we go. Sorry.
Let's say they're on their knees, and they're trying to put your defense is here, your feet. In this case, you might want to come back, but slightly offset yourself. Don't be flat on your back. Just slightly offset yourself. And I recommend having 1 foot underneath one of their legs. And so that way they only have 1 foot, 1 leg. I know this is the leg they're going to try to pass. If I have both here, I don't know what leg they're going to try to pass. They might throw my legs either way. But if I hook in 1 leg here, and I want to hook it in either here or down low by their knee. And the reason I want it low by their knee, and I want to turn myself a little bit sideways. So they're kind of sideways to me. So now, and I want to turn towards the leg that they're going to attack. So this leg, I highly doubt they're going to try to pass around that way. And I'm also trying to hold on to an arm if I can. If I lose the arm, let's say, and they grab that leg, I know they're going to try to throw it this way. Immediately, I want to know that so I can put my knee between me and them. Can you not just fall over?
Yes, sir.
Really try to get side mount. Get your knee between you and them. Then you got your arms here. Make a triangle. And post yourself here right against their neck. So you want to just take your wrist and put it right into their neck and just push away like this. And this is the legitimate way to keep them away from you. And then from here you can actually come, take a leg, and you can actually start pull them down. And you can work on a type of arm bar right here. By taking this arm here, and then come across this way, and you can actually pinch the arm the wrong way. It's pretty easy to get out of, it's hard to do, but it's a way to pull them away from you and try to sit up. Okay, so again, always have 3 points of contact when you're in that type of defensive position. If you want to try to do is, if they're right here, is try to get this kind of like an inside guard here. Like sit down, most of the time. Instead of both staying down, just have your feet kind of by their knees. And the reason for that is if you can manage, for example, to grab behind their elbow and their wrist and pull them towards you, you can take this arm here, and now you got this position coming this way. You can pull this leg up and sweep them. Now, there's running out of room here, but basically, it would finish off with me coming all the way over like that, and bam, now I have full mount. So that's one way to get them into full mount. Okay, so that's your 3 ways to defend yourself. If you end up in this position here, where all you have is your elbows, remember, it's like this. So your elbow is against the ground and then comes up, your elbow and your shoulder. It's like that, boom. So it's not like this. You don't want to use this part of your arm. It's your elbow is into their chest and your shoulder. So bam, they can't push past this. It's like a stick. Then you take this arm and put it right here. Now you can push. You can get yourself back away from that. Now, one thing that sometimes you might see online, there's a few demonstrations of how to properly shrimp. I know there's a few YouTube channels that teach it in this way, not too hard, but I want to teach something that Hina Gracie shows, and it's super important, and we'll learn shrimping before we get into what's called fist fighting, and that's where you're really fighting for control. That's where you're using a lot of your energy, because you don't want them to get a down position, because then you're going to have to use a lot more energy to get out of that position into a good position. And then we'll go through the 3 major positions, and a certain, learned this from BJ Penn, or a form of it from BJ Penn, kind of modified it from Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but it's a way to get into 3 major positions, and each person can roll back and forth back infinitely until you guys are both tired. And it's a really good way to learn how to transition in between those 3 major positions. This would be the full mount, side mount, and then the full guard. Anyway, so shrimping, let's go ahead. I'm going to show that really quickly here.
Can we get out of the way?
I'll have you just sit right there for a second. So I'll show it from different angles. So when you shrimp, the whole point of shrimping is that you're kind of always offsetting your side, and you're kind of stiff arming them so they can't get past you, right? As you're it's to create more space. They start smashing you, and now you're down to your elbows, and you don't have much space up anymore. You're running out of space, right? There's not much space between you and your opponent. You need to create space. One way to create space is shrimping. So how shrimping goes is it's basically using one foot. So if I'm using my left foot, then I'm bridging off my right shoulder. So it's like a diagonal, it's opposite. So I lift my butt up off the ground completely using my left foot and my right shoulder. So my left foot and my right shoulder are acting like 2 points of a swing. And I can swing my whole entire body between those 2 points. So that's what shrimping is. So it's taking this foot, pushing off the ground, this shoulder, turn sideways, and then turn like this, like you're trying to touch your toes, like you're trying to fold yourself in half. And then you can switch the other way and use this right foot and left shoulder and shrimp the other way. And notice I went down the mat. And that's one drill you'll see that happening in one of your training schools, wherever you're going to, one of your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools, wherever, that they'll be doing that all the way down the mat. If you're wondering how they get down the mat so fast doing this exercise, they're doing it properly. If you do it properly, you can create a lot of distance. So from the side view, it's like this. So you have one foot on the ground, well, you have both feet on the ground, but one foot you're pushing off of. Let's say I'll push off my left foot, using my right shoulder, lifting my hips up. I have this entire area, there's nothing underneath me, because I'm on my shoulder and foot, and I can swing my body right here. And so you swing and go to touch your toes. Come back up this way, now it's off this foot, you lift your body up, swing, touch your toes. Look how much space I just covered just by doing 2 shrimps. Very, very helpful. Maybe another position, another angle would be, we'll try this angle really fast. Okay, so you like this, your foot, opposite shoulder, foot, opposite shoulder. So if I push off this foot, I'm kind of sideways on this shoulder. Nothing underneath me, so I can take this and I can swing. See, that's like a swing. I can swing out, boom, like that.
Yeah.
So I'll have her try it now, because this is not something that she's practiced a lot of. Go and show them that way. That was just something.
You're gonna have me do it? Lean over?
Well, if someone knew, now face me like this, like I was. So if she uses this leg, let's say this is the foot that she's going to use right here. Boom. She's going to push off that foot. You stay flat foot, not on your toes. Push off that foot and off that shoulder. Now remember, you always want to be kind of sideways toward your opponent. It's very rare you ever want to be just flat on your back. So always kind of like turning sideways toward them, trying to get those points of contact. So if I'm trying to attack her right here, she wants to keep this point of contact right here, a knee between me, stiff arm me, right? And maybe grab this arm, like this wrist, 3 points of contact at least. You always want to have, so if I'm trying to pass, I now have to get past this. I have to try to get past this knee, this arm. It makes it more difficult for me. She wants to kind of be turned toward me. If she's flat on her back, it's much easier for me just to push this to the side and get past her. But if she's facing toward me, it's harder for me to do that. So now I have to figure out a way to get past all this, and it makes it much harder to try to figure out how to get, boom, to some sort of dominant position like side control here, then I can let go of the legs that I need it, and boom. Okay, so let's go and show the shrimp real quick.
Okay, so
Turn this way.
diagonal towards you.
Yeah.
Shoulder, leg.
Okay, keep head down, feet down. Okay, so she wants to first kind of turn sideways towards a little bit because she's never going to be flat on her back. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pick up, let's say, this foot or this foot and that shoulder. So lift your hip. Now notice this, there's nothing underneath here, right here. I can put my hand all the way, look from one end to the other. That's completely, her butt is completely off the ground. And then she's going to swing herself, swing her butt out away from me, and her head and arms are going to come toward me, and I touch her toes.
Like that?
Like that, so she comes towards me like this, so she creates a lot of space.
I'm gonna try to so, butt up, shoulder, and then.
Yeah, so try to swing yourself back and forth a couple of times before you actually move. So try to fill these 2 points of contact as if they were swinging with your butt up. Now try to swing yourself back and forth. Right? Now you want to swoop. There you go. So she made a lot of distance. Now watch. If we're really close together, I want to show you how much distance someone can create, and I'll show the other way around. Let's say we're really close like this here. Now she wants to. I'm trying to come in, and she wants to create space. Go ahead and shrimp out. Look how much space she created between us. That wasn't there before. She can stick both of her knees. Now look at. Come back here real fast.
This.
Let's say I'm here. I'm trying to pass by her, and look at right now. She can't get this knee in. Let's say I'm so close that she can't get that knee in. Now if she shrimps right now, go ahead and shrimp. Now get that knee in. Boom! Look at now. She can both knees. She can even get a hook all the way in. She can get her feet in right now. And then she can turn up as you get your feet in, boom, get back into butterfly guard here, and then sit up, because always defensive is same as butterfly guard. Very good position now, right? So she went from potentially getting side mounted to coming into a dominant control, or at least an offensive butterfly control, or not control, but an offensive butterfly position. Let me go and show you from another angle really quickly. You'll be the attacker. I'll be the one shrinking away. Go ahead.
That side? You sure?
I guess, well, let's try both sides. Try this side first.
Alright.
I'll do both sides that you guys can. I'm
We're
trying
gonna
to.
do this side since we're on this side first.
Okay, so
So I don't have to go back over.
let's say they're trying. Come back over here though.
Okay.
You have to be trying to take. So I'm here, and they're really pushing pressure to where. Don't let my head yet. And I'm pushing here, but I don't have much. Right now to defend myself. I just have stiff arms and a knee. And as they're pressuring into me, they're trying to keep pushing past me. They're trying to break down all these points of pressure to swing around, swing their body around. And once I notice they're going to swing their body around, I'm going to use this foot and my opposite shoulder. I'm going to shrimp out. So try to swing your body around just like control. I'm going to shrimp like this, boom, and create this space so I can put my feet between me and her. And then I can sit up here and reset back to this position here, or I come here, or I come all the way up and try to get to this position here. Now I'm in a good strong position. Because from here I can take this arm, I can control it by underhooking it, or overhooking it rather, and I can start turning and I can lift, split, and bam, I go to side control. I could also went full mount. Let's look at that from another angle with her on the other side of me. So first thing she does is she gets past my, I'm slightly controlled from the side here. She managed to get past my legs, and boom, I have to use my knee and my stiff arm now. This is all I have between me and her. The next thing, actually, let's turn it sideways.
This?
No, not that way. Okay, keep going sideways. Okay. So we're like this, right? This is all I have between me and her right now. The knee, let's set real quick, so you can see. The knee and my stiff arms. Now, let's say they try to swing their body around it, and I know they're trying to go for side mount. Because if you feel their body switching that way, I know they're trying to take my side. Right, so let's go back. The second you feel that move, if you stay calm, and you're right here, and you're just trying to feel out what they're doing, and you stay calm and relaxed, you could then know what they're about to do when you start learning more and more like what they're trying to do. From here, if you feel them moving this way, you know they're trying to either go north-south on you, and that's another dominant position, but that's one you can learn later. Or they're going to try to take your side. So as she starts to move sideways, and I feel it, slow motion, once you start moving sideways to take side control, let's say you try to take a deep stepper.
Like this?
You try to get your knee way over here, right? Once I feel that movement, I want to take this foot, opposite shoulder, I want to shrimp. I want to lift up and shrimp out. Now look how much more space I have between me and her, enough to I can actually stick my foot in between her leg right here. You can't see that. You're going to have to try if they can see this. You see? They can see. I'll come knee down again. So now I've created enough space. I can go sit down. That I can get my foot underneath her thigh here. And I can pull myself here into butterfly guard right here. So butterfly guard, if you come over here. Butterfly guard is where I have my feet underneath her thighs like this in some position. That way I can try to sweep one way or the other. Or I can even have my feet. Or I can have okay. Anyway, so let's try to go from the side.
Yeah,
Little angle view. It's basically having your feet between your thighs in some way right here. And that would be butterfly. It's not guard. You could do that as guard if you're laying down, but butterfly position. That way, from here, like I said, if I can get an overhook on any one of these arms, let's say I get an overhook on this arm right here, I managed to pull this arm in and overhook it, I can then take this outer leg here and sweep it. And how that's going to look is, it's going to come by her knee. Don't be down here, slide it to her knee and lift her knee up. So I come here, I underhook this, overhook this arm, and I can now sweep this foot and turn to my side and sweep it all the way over. Now I don't want to let go of this foot yet. I either want to come around like that, it's called like boom. Some people call it like windshield wiping, or around the world. Boom, so I can get on this side and take them out. But this leg now is in, go ahead and give me a half guard. She can shrimp out and half guard me. Boom. Alright, so like I was saying, it's really important. One, I want to show that I gave up again. It's this way, come across this way, boom, boom, boom. It's like that. Then you lock your wrist, both wrists like that. So you lock both wrists, and that's the gable grip. So gable grip is not like this. It's thumb in, boom, strong. And then lock the wrist, make it even stronger. Bam, you can see it's really strong. It's hard to pull this grip off. You just pull them into you tight. Right, so the other thing I was going to talk about is monkey grip versus C grip. So up close, C grip is like this. It goes over and like that. It makes a C. Right, you're C gripping. This is easier to pull out of. Unless you're pinning your hand straight to the ground, now that weak spot is the ground itself. So they can't push through the ground, and now they can't get out this way because your thumb in your hands. Monkey grip is your thumb goes over like this, and then you can still pin them down like that. So sometimes monkey grip is better, sometimes C grip's better. And I'll show you one example of that when I show you the Americana finish, so that I'm going to show you your whole goal in all of this is to try to get the full mount. And then from that full mount, I'm going to show you how to get one submission, which is pretty easy to learn and pretty easy to get. There's different ways to get it. Well, two main ways to get it and how to properly do it. That way, if you ever do manage to get them in the mount and tire them out, go for that submission. And then you might actually get a submission on your partner. Right, so when we're here, they grab in hand. Your best way to get out of this right here, no, just one hand first. Before they even try to grab this, I have this tight, right? I know if they have this hand, they're going to try to yank it so they can grab my elbow and try to pull me into them for different things. Now, one of the things they might try to pull you, this is one thing to watch out for, is they might pull you in, wrap their hand around your head, and then come in here for a guillotine, and they're going to pull up and back. And it really sucks because there's two different ways a guillotine can work. One is it blocks off your airway, and you might just tap because you're freaked because you can't breathe. But no big deal, you can go without oxygen. The oxygen block off right here is not blocking off the blood to your head, so you can go for a long time without being able to breathe. You know, if you hold your breath for 30 seconds, you can stay there for 30 seconds really easily and try to get out. The other way, though, is where this part of your wrist goes right against their trachea, and that can actually crush your trachea, and you don't want that to happen. I've recorded this a couple of times, so I can't remember if I mentioned this, but...
You didn't say anything about it in this video.
This one? Okay. So one time if I've already said this, forgive me, but one time I knew I can get out of it. I was pretty positive I can get out of it. He had me in a guillotine. I was pretty positive I can get out of it, and so he's pulling on it, it's a lot of pressure, and I managed to get out of it, but for a week after that, and this was just sparring, this wasn't like a tournament or nothing, so for a week after that, it hurt so bad to swallow, like it felt like strep throat kind of, and like I was like swallowing glass. For the first day it was really bad, and it got better every day, but for like a week, it hurt to swallow. Sucked. Not worth, to me it wasn't worth it for a sparring match. For a sparring match, just tap, okay, you got me, you got the guillotine, that's good. Yeah, and you can hurt your ribs too, and I'll show you one way not to hurt your ribs, right? And there's another position, and I think this is really important actually to know even before you get to the fist fighting. So, another form of control is when they reverse it, and they have side control, and then they reverse the weight to be this way, like this. So now they're like this way, like this. So they're holding their hips here, and they're across your upper body, and they're holding their legs out like this. This can be really, really uncomfortable, and there's a lot of things they can do from here. Now the other one is a little bit different, and it's to where, just put it down. The other one is to where I'm going to basically sit on this shoulder.
You sit down on the mat, I don't think. Oh, it's not letting go.
I'm basically going to sit on this shoulder, and I'm going to control this side of the hips with my arms and legs here. I'm going to sit right on here like that. I'm not going to have all my pressure is going to be on their body right here. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to set up the twister side control, or it allows me to set up the truck and a lot of. It allows me to set up the truck and all the kinds of things. So I'm gonna have her do that. I'm gonna show you what I did wrong. So one time when I didn't really know what the twister side control was. So come opposite way. Your head's gonna be done that way.
Like this?
Yep. Your butt's gonna be up on my shoulder.
Yeah.
No, down like that. There you go. So now they're controlling this, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And really fast, I try to bump them off this way. We try to push all their weight forward like that. But what happened was, so going on for a second.
Sorry.
What happened is the guy had a really strong clench down here, and he had his pressure really hard here. So I tried really fast to do this. It ripped this muscle a little bit, my rib muscle. I didn't fracture the rib muscle. I can go like this and it didn't hurt at all. I didn't even feel it at first. So I didn't break. I didn't break. I didn't fracture. I felt it right away.
No, I thought it wasn't until later when you got home. Like, oh.
No, I mean I felt it right away. That's why I stopped. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I messed up bad. But I didn't realize how bad I messed up until really the next day is when it was like, woo, it hurts.
It lasted for like over a month.
Honestly, pulling that muscle or stretching that muscle or ripping, I don't think you rip it, but it's like it pulls it farther than it should, whatever, which is kind of like ripping the muscle. And it damages the muscle, the rib muscles here. That hurt more than when I broke my rib boxing. So, personally, to me, it was worse. And it was all from just that quick movement. So, if someone has you in that movement, this is a don't. If someone has you in twister side control, right, go all the way down from my hips here. If someone has you and your butt should be up on my shoulder, like this here.
Like that?
And your body down, you're holding here, holding across the whole goal is you're going to try to flip around and get me a truck.
Right.
Is you don't want to just twist like this. Instead, try to create space with your hands here and create the triangle. So you're pushing one hand against the other and maybe across their armpit right here and push them and try to crawl your body out like this. That's another thing that you're practicing a lot is crawling your body out. And then you take this foot and pull out this way and turn toward them and try to come like this, like north-south. And that's just one way to get out. And so what that drill is usually like the military teach it to like crawl backwards underneath stuff, is you're using your shoulders to crawl back. That's really important drill to use. So when they're doing classes and you're doing the different drills up and down the mat, that's one of them you'll probably do, all the way down just once and back, using your shoulders like that to crawl. Really important to develop those muscles, so do those exercises. And that's what, because it'll help you in a lot of different ways, like get the triangle, for example, helps you, 1, 2, 3, boom, you get the triangle deeper. Okay, now let's get into fist control here. So with fist fighting, as they're butting in towards you, they're looking to grab an elbow most likely, or they're at least looking to get a baseball bat grip. Because if I have a regular grip like this here, a C grip, she can turn her wrist and then just yank it out, because that's the weakest points. Even if I had a really, really strong grip, and if she really tries, she can get her arm out. Now, if her wrist was bigger, to where I couldn't lock my fingers all the way around, and it was like that, actually a bigger wrist like I do, like me, it'd be much easier for someone to go like this and just pull their hammer out. You want to turn your wrist sideways, the long way, so you pull right through. So I'll show that up close real quick. So if someone has your wrist like this, turn your wrist sideways and then pull out. It's much easier than doing this, because there's less friction, there's less things for them to hold on to. They're holding to something long and flat versus like this. This gives them more grip. You break that by going here and bam. Another thing is going inward this way or outward that way, snaking. Boom, boom, boom. You learn that in Wing Chun. At least that's where I first learned it, was in Wing Chun. Actually, I learned it first from someone that was teaching me some Jeet Kune Do, but also it's part of Wing Chun. And that's kind of where it comes from anyway. So if they grab this wrist, I can Wing Chun. Boom, push against that. I can now grab this arm. Now I have control. Now I can baseball grip. In this case, it ain't baseball. Well, actually, yeah, no, it's not quite. It's almost baseball grip. And it's almost baseball grip. I can pull, and I can then start shooting my leg through here, and keep pulling, and shoot my leg through here. And now I got side control. Not side control. Sorry. Why did I say side control?
Oh, no.
Because I thought she was going to the side, but I have.
Or full guard.
I have full guard now, and then I cross my legs, boom, like that. I want to try to get my legs up high and put my arm around. I want to try to get it under if I can, and boom, and hold this right here. Then from this, I can try to come under and then sweep and throw her to your back. Anyway, we'll show you the ways to do that. But just know that's one of the things that they're working to do to you, and you want to do it first. So right now, this is when you want to spend your energy. You don't want to spend your energy. You don't want to be relaxed here and just let them plow right through you and pull you in, and then you're here, and then they pull you into guard. Because then now you have to work on using so much more energy to get your head out. So let's say wrap your head around tight. You have to worry about your head out here. Get your head up. Strip off the arms. Get your hands on their hips. Stiff arm. And this is posturing. And then you can get one leg up here. And then you want to turn your hip sideways. So I'm going to turn my hip sideways and pull this hip out like that. Take my elbow, drive it into the knee to the ground. And drive my leg up and over it. Come here. I'm going to keep this foot high so they can't half guard me with this leg. And then once I can, I'm going to block this hip here so they can't get out. And then boom, I'm going to go here. And now I got side control. So that takes a lot more energy right there than it would have taken me to just sit here for a little bit and wrist fight. So she's grabbing, I try to double grab, and then I can grab this and break that. Wing Chun out of this, grab here, Wing Chun out of that. Grab your head in tight. I could go for a guillotine.
Haha, slipped out.
And then here.
Oh, wait.
Now I got both arms. I got their control. I can start turning them. And I can pull them into it. And another thing I already showed you before is they can come here and they can pull you like this. And now I can just go under and over the seatbelt. I already got the seatbelt on there. And then I can take this leg out and I can pull her up this way. And bam, now I got my hooks and now I got seatbelt. I got the back mount right here. All from dragging your arm. So there's a lot of different positions you can end up just from dragging your arm. So it's super important that this is when you spend your energy not letting them get control of your arms. So T-Rex, boom, your elbows stay away and they stay tucked tight to your side of your body. So if she tries to grab my wrist, I'm just boom, Wing Chun around. So they can't grab my elbows. So this is when I'm spending my time. This is a good defense too. Grab them behind their head and lock it. When you grab it, lock your wrist. So it's behind their head, and then lock your wrist like you're arm wrestling. And keep the head down and tight, and keep your head over their head. Now they have to work to get that off. Now how you get out of that is, if she were to grab my head, pull down, you take this hand here, you want to pull up on their elbow, push their elbow up like this, and tilt your head out to the side and push them away from you. And then from there, you can try to pull this arm and then try to get, pull them all the way. You can try to take her back or pull them toward you and into your guard. So you can start your full, into your full guard, sorry. So anyway, spend energy here. This is when you're spending energy. You don't want them to, you want to be the aggressor right now. You want to be the one that pulls them into you and it gets the position you want. If they get a 2-on-1 like this and they start pulling you that way, immediately grab their shoulder and push and stiff arm. Take this arm, Wing Chun around, grab their wrist right here, then you can push this arm because you have control of this arm and pull them, and now you've got the control here. You can now pull them into this control right here. And so what that looks like, sit in front of me quick. I just want to show you what the seatbelt probably looks like. That's right. So without even getting her into back mount control at all, well, how it looks is one hand goes over, the other hand goes under. So one's over a shoulder, one's under an armpit. The one that's under the arm, monkey grips your other hand. This is the seatbelt, and you pull tight like this to your, so it's tight, and then it's hard to get out of because they have to strip that arm off first. They have to strip this hand off the one, and there, as you strip that hand, you can get this arm and start working it in to the choke. My elbow's way offset right now, so I gotta twist my elbow. One way to do that is you can pull their head back and come in like this, boom. Now my elbows match up with her chin, and I can start doing the choke. I know I said I was going to be teaching submissions, so I don't want to be because there's tons of ways to learn all that. This is important to put in seatbelt because then you can get into that back mount. And then from back mount, learn how to do the choke. There's plenty of videos on there. I think his name is Stephen Kesting. Has some great videos for free on his YouTube channel. Just the Gracies have a good free video, I believe, on how to do a proper choke. So just go to what's their main YouTube video or channel. I can't remember what it's called right now. I think it's, well, one is Gracie University, and the other one I think is anyway, just type in Heener Gracie. It's RENER. That's Heener Gracie, and that should bring up his two channels. One is Gracie University, and the other one is, I think, something about fight analysis, or, oh my god, I visited a lot. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, super cool. And might even call Gracie Academy, and the other one is called Gracie Breakdown, maybe. Anyway, I think that one's called Gracie Breakdown, and that's where they show a lot of these different moves. And I'm pretty sure one of those. And once you're on there, just click on the little search icon, and then you're just searching his channel only, and then type in rear naked choke, and then they show you how to properly do it. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff online, so I don't want to go through all that because there's tons of places to learn how to do that properly, and it's really not that hard to learn the proper application. But you definitely want to learn how to do it properly, because if you don't do it properly, if you do it like this here and just pulling back on someone, you're like, how come they're not tapping? Because all you're doing is putting pressure against their neck. To where maybe they can't push. If you're pushing up, it's making it so they can't breathe. If you're pushing into their trachea, it's just making it painful. They might actually tap to that because it's really painful, but it's not going to be a proper rear naked choke and not blocking the two arteries. When you block these two arteries, they're going to pass out like 7 to 10 seconds. Make sure when you're practicing this, only hold it for a second. That's it. Now there is one thing we'd like to show, because not very many people show this, so we'll turn sideways for a second. With the rear naked choke, it's not very many people show this. So if you have the rear naked choke, you have your hooks in here, or even if you don't, it doesn't matter. If you have the rear naked choke, one, put your arm through all the way as far as you can. You want to shoot your arm all the way through to where your armpit is on their shoulder as far as you can. Shoot your arm as far as you can, but don't shoot too far out because they can actually get, they can try to get, well actually, it won't be that arm maybe. If they manage to turn your arm around, they can arm bar it right on their shoulder. So don't shoot it all the way out like this, but shoot it this way. But shoot it in deep, boom, like this. Almost like you're trying to punch them, and then come. So that your elbow is lined up with their chin. So their chin and your elbow should be lined up together. That's how you know you're going to be blocking off the two arteries, is when you shoot that in deep. Now this arm, you want to just take in and snake it in behind your head. I like when back of the hand, so I'm like the top of the hand here. Now if I do the top of the hand, they can reach both of their hands up and grab my hand and strip it off. They can reach up behind my hand, no, reach up, no. Put both hands behind your head, no. Both hands behind your head, one on each side, and strip my hand off. Pull up over your head, strip it down. Boom, my hand comes off. Now I can still choke with one arm, but it's a lot harder. They have this, so now I have to try to either switch and then grab this control, like lock and block that arm, and come boom, boom through. Anyway, the important thing I wanted to show, I get sidetracked easily. The important thing I want to show is they shoot this through, you pull, you got it even, and then you want to snake this arm. So when you take this arm, snake it behind your head, the back of your hand. Hide the back of your hand behind your head, put your head here, now try to reach behind and grab my hand. Much harder for her to grab my hand. Go ahead, try to pull your hand up, my hand up and out. It's really hard. By the time she can even try, I probably already have the choke too deep and she's going to be passed out. But properly is reaching behind your head like this and pulling. So reach both hands behind, try to grab my hand and try to strip and pull it up. Up and over your head. Up and over your head. I'm going to let her kind of do it. Okay? Now, if I were to hold this tight, it'd be really hard for her to do. Now, one thing I want to show, though, that you probably won't see anywhere on YouTube, I've never seen it, but it's something I found that adds a lot more pressure, and she can verify whether that adds more pressure or not, is once you get this arm in deep, you grab your bicep, this hand goes behind her head, like this. If I just keep that and hold, and I want to pull my shoulder blades back, like I'm shrugging, that's how you do. You keep your head tight, and just pull, go and tap once it's choking. Okay, it doesn't take much to choke. Now, I'm going to breathe it for a second. Now, tell me if this adds more pressure. All I'm going to do is, instead of keeping my hand flat like this behind her head, I'm going to make a fist with it. That's the only difference. I'm just going to make a fist. So, I have it here, it's tight. I pull, and I make a fist. Immediately, it's like not 2 times tighter, but
that was me trying to breathe.
It's immediately a lot tighter, and it really pushes more pressure here because it's kind of pushing it into this V, to where this forearm and this bicep is what's blocking these 2 arteries. That only works if your arm's deep enough, like that. I can just pull back with one arm, I can choke her, but it's harder if you come up and pull behind the head. It's much easier. The only thing is you got to shrug. But if you make that fist, already she's probably starting to feel the choke. Like right now, she's probably not choking, right?
No.
I mean, all I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna try.
I'm trying to breathe out.
All I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna pull back and just make a fist. It makes a difference. Just by making a fist, it makes a difference. If I make a fist and then I shrug back,
no more air comes out.
Well, the air is not the issue. It's mainly these 2 arteries that are going to be the issue.
That's me taking a deep breath and blowing out, and I can't blow anything out.
If you're practicing this, only hold it for like 3 seconds, and just so the person can feel, or just hold it for at the most 10 seconds. At that point, your partner that you're playing around with might already be passed out. If they are passed out, just kind of hold them like this here. Don't let them go anywhere. Just kind of like, hey, and they'll come back instantly within like seconds.
I wouldn't try to move around
but
so much.
if you hold it longer than that, you can cause serious damage. So don't hold it ever longer. I recommend not even hold it longer than 7 seconds. Because if they're not out in 7 seconds, if they're not out in 10 seconds, you're not applying it correctly. So 10 seconds max, but I recommend maybe even 7 seconds. But what you could do is you can have your partner tap when they actually say, hey, I just want to make sure I'm applying it correctly. Only tap when you start to see stars or feel tunnel visions. Now sometimes they might not feel that experience of tunnel vision. They might just block right out and not even know what happened until they wake up. So when you pull this in and shrug your shoulders, I don't want you to tap until you solve. So that way, so you know you're...
Until I see stars? Oh God, watch me pass out.
So you know, and if you need to, like I said, you can pull their head back and get that in tight. Now, when you have this in properly, and you shrug your shoulders back, it's going to properly put the pressure.
I can't even breathe. My throat hurts really bad right now. Whoa. Okay, yeah, no. I started just seeing black spots everywhere.
So it made your head all lightheaded, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to be more focusing on what I was seeing now. So,
Right.
spots
And,
everywhere.
and after I let go, you feel that flood.
Yeah,
flow,
like air just.
right, it flows back into the head. So
Air just.
you can ask your partner, hey, I'm going to apply this to see if they want to do it, and see if you're doing it right. Because if they don't, hold it for like 5, maybe 7 seconds, or they might tap before that because you get too scared. But mainly ask for them to try to see that tunnel vision. And sometimes, like I said, they'll pass out before they even see that.
Yeah, you're definitely applying it right.
But
100%.
all right, so let's go back to fighting with the fist. So your goal here, when you're fist fighting, is to try to get you into a dominant position, one of those 4 I taught you about. So either you want to try and get a 2-on-1 behind the elbow, on the wrist, or baseball grip, which is the opposite. So, or not, well, I guess it's not baseball grip, because baseball grip would be like holding a baseball bat, would be like, you typically hold a baseball bat like that. That's a lot easier to break out because you only have 2 thumbs holding one side. So she can get her arm out of that much easier than if I have 1 knuckles up and 1 knuckle down.
That's like,
Now it's really hard for her to get out of. And I can just pull this and pull her toward me. And as I'm doing that, I can take my foot and start shooting my feet in already around her as I pull her toward me, and then come and grab around her head. And I got the look, and now I get tight and get tight and get this. If I can, I want to try to swim under here. So if her arm is, let's say, here for right now, and I'm blocking it, I want to try to swim under it. Bam, pull that in tight. Right, so, well, and we'll show, how you can try to transition from that to a different position. The other position you might want to try to do, or the other move you might want to try to do, like I said, is get behind the elbow and pull them all the way over like this, and then let's go and show from the front view. I want you facing front. Oh wait, actually, I want you right here, facing me. Hopefully this will work. I think this will work with the angles I'm trying to do.
I would have had you right here.
So,
when you pull me in.
I'm going to pull her all the way over like this. Actually, let's do it this way. I'm going to pull her all the way over like this. Boom. And then notice this hand comes right. This is the overhand. This is the underhand. I grab my wrist with this hand like this, and then I can pull her back into a tighter seated position. Right? So that's now how you properly do that. I'll show from the slight angle view. You just want to take the arm, grab behind the elbow, grab the wrist, pull fast and hard, and pull them all the way over. Start to get this under here already, and pull them. Get this foot out like this, stand up as they're coming over, and then get this foot here and stand up, and then try to get it underneath their legs, or even just under their belly right here if you can. And then start to pull them back, and then you can start to get your hooks in between their legs right here. Or you can just, you can just hold them sideways like that if you need to right now. Then you take your time here. You don't have to be in a rush. Then you can start working on getting your hooks inside their legs. And you don't want them on their back like this, because if they get on their back like she is right now, this is bad, because they can actually turn into me and get into my, keep turning. They can turn into me, and once they start doing that, I want to quickly reestablish them. I want to get them out. So that's one way to get them out, is from a failed attempt to pull them into back mount. So if I come here, I'll start back with fist fighting. So we're fist fighting, and let's go ahead and let's finish the fist fighting real quick. So one is your like I said, your elbows are back here. They grab one wrist, just try to Wing Chun around it. So either this way or this way. So you're making a snake. You're snaking your arm around. Just keep snaking until they let go. Just snake around and grab if you have to. And you can hold and then you can pull if you need to. You can already have control. If they get 2-on-1, 1-2, immediately push with the stiff arm and come right back. Or push here with the stiff arm and right back. The reason why I don't want to leave your arm out there is there's actually ways for them to submit you from here. So push them and come right back, and then you've got 2-on-1 and try to pull them toward you. So the second they get 2-on-1, try to push that shoulder away, come back and grab their 2-on-1 and pull them, so then you can start coming from here. Now you can come like this up onto your knees, and then take this foot out here that's on the mat and then try to step all the way over their body. Now if you do a failed attempt at this, when you're trying to pull them down and they get on their back, swim through your back, Ruby.
Like towards you?
Yeah, no. Get all the way on their back right here, this way.
Oh, like you get my
Yeah,
back.
and keep turning all the way into me. See, if they get on their back like that, you need to immediately come here and block with your foot. Your foot needs to come over and stop them from turning into you. Because if they turn into you, then you want to go here and keep turning into me. You want to be able to turn into them and get, and now they decide to turtle, they decide to go back on their back, immediately you follow, keep going. I want your stomach to come in, sorry.
Oh, my body's
Turtle.
sticking to
They
the
try to
back.
turtle, you got the back control now. You can stick your hook in here, and then on the other side, this foot, the hook in here. Now you got your seatbelt. Once you have your seatbelt, then you just turn back in, hit the ground,
You should went that way.
and turn like this. I want to be able to see on camera.
Oh, okay.
Now you got your seatbelt, and you got your hooks in.
You see, that would be easier.
And so now you got good control here. The goal here is obviously to try to get a hook. One tip you can do here is you can take it, if you're flexible enough, you can take this foot, you can grab it and trap this arm. Now that arm's trapped, you can start going for that choke much easier. I don't only have one hand to defend against. Boom, you can come over here and switch it now. And you can also trap this leg around that arm. But I just trap one arm and you can start going for the choke. Anyway, you can learn more about chokes. I just want to show how to get in that position, different transitions. So another thing, the most easy thing to do from this here is going to be to either do a butterfly guard or a butterfly position sweep, or to try to pull them into your guard. So you can actually grab both hands really fast and yank towards you, and then put your feet around them right here, and then grab their head. And from here, all you have to do is start to pull back, and now you pulled guard. And then you can start working on getting an over under, or you can just hold it here. You're here for right now, and then you can switch this to a full mount. So now once you're here, let them fight for a little bit. Let them work. They're going to be trying to posture up. So knowing what they're going to be trying to do, they're actually trying to get their head out from underneath my grip. Once they do, I want to get it over under. Why do I want this under and over? Try to posture up now. Try to get your head out from my hands. No, I try to duck your head out and under. I still have the arm here. And from here, I can now switch it, and I can start getting out here, and I'm working on, they can't do much with their arm right here. Turn there. Now try to hug me. All right, so now I can start to go for a different type of position here, where I can take this arm, and I can come, if they allow me to, I could go to omoplata anyway. I won't teach later what that is. But for right now, I'm in a good position here. I have the arm control, and they can't posture up. And I can come right back into here, and I'm still have them in guard. Okay, so
It's like the point of hair. It's like the point of the video where the girl is supposed to like put serious amount of hairspray on her.
okay, so all right, so I'm going to show again really quickly. So if you pulled it into your full guard here, and you have this arm trapped. It doesn't matter if you have it trapped like this, or if you manage to get under the arm and you trap it like this. Either way, as long as that arm is trapped, it makes it easy for you to roll them into full mount. Well, not easy, but it makes it possible. Let's go and kind of turn this way. So let's say I have it trapped here. I'm just holding behind the bicep, and I'm tucking this into my armpit. I'm holding here like this. I got this high right here. And what I can do is I can take this foot here, and I can still by this to the back to hold them down, and put this foot on the outside of their leg. Let's go and turn sideways a little more. Like this.
Okay.
So this foot right here, I'm trapping it on the side of her leg, on the outside, like this. Not on the inside of her leg, like this. On the outside, I'm tucking it in. I'm holding it. So now I got her arm trapped, and I got her leg trapped on this side of her body. Makes it much easier to roll her. Then I just take this foot off for just a second to step in between her legs. I don't want to step on the outside of her leg. I want to step in between her legs. So let's go and turn. Just show what this looks like. You're in my way. This foot here is stepping inside, not the outside, and the inside of the leg. And now let's go back this way. Alright, so once you have that inside, immediately, once you go from here, and you can just slide it straight down like this. Just slide it straight, and from their back, slide your whole foot straight down their butt to the floor. Now it's right between their leg. And then you push off this shoulder, or not push off, but you're gonna do similar to a shrimping. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Simply towards like shrimping. So you're basically gonna shrimp by pulling your feet up like that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna push this arm up and you're gonna shoot it towards the ceiling. Now this is why you want to have this arm around your head like this, is so that you can try to transition. And so this foot right here is going to chop inward. This foot right here is going to chop inward. This is going to shoot up, and your whole body's going to bridge off of this shoulder here. So you're going to push off this right back leg, and your left shoulder is going to roll on. So you're going to push off like this and go. Now one thing you want to make sure your partner's doing is what she's doing, holding my shoulder. If their hand is not flat on the ground like this, let me see your hand flat, and I roll her right now, I can actually hurt her wrist, especially if it's out sideways, face that way, like that. If I start to roll her, I can actually make her wrist go the wrong way and hurt her wrist. So if you're working with a partner, make sure their hand is there. Even if you're sparring and let's say the person has their hand out that way, be like, hey, go like this, and come back to here. And if they go, why'd you do that? Be like, I don't want you to get your hand hurt, just in case I roll you. Now you kind of already told them what they're going to do, but it's better that they're safe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, so you hold tight here, slide down their butt, bridge off of that, shoot for the sky, and kind of angle that way, the way you want to roll, and push and roll this way, like that, bam. And now you got the full mount. This is where you want to be right here. This is the ultimate goal, is in the full mount. And I already talked about what full mount and how to do it. But quickly, briefly here, let's go back over again the different things you're doing. So I'm holding a hand underneath her head, put her hand out here like this, stiff arm. One thing they might do is they might try to grab my arm and pull it in, because they're going to try to do what I just did to them. Right? So what I just did was how I trap an arm, then she can trap my leg, and then she can take her other foot and put it on the inside of my legs and bridge off her shoulder now, and reach for the sky, and she can twist and roll me right back into now where I was before. So now I'm into this position again. So that I have to reverse it and come back over, boom, right? Anyway, so how to prevent that is quickly insert your hooks in, boom, like this, and get them up high to the sky. Keep your pressure down, keep arm out here, get your hooks in. So if they try to roll and turn in any way, you have your hooks in here. So bam. So which way you're feeling them, grab the opposite. So if she tries to roll me that way, my right hook is going to try to push me and roll me that way. No, try to twist your body and like push me that way. Push my shoulder.
Like actually roll you.
Yeah, like push on my shoulder, for example. And try to roll me that way. And turn your body that way. Now try to twist and turn your whole body that way.
It's harder now.
Push off this foot.
That's what I was doing. It was better.
And twist. I can get this hook in tight, and it makes it hard. I don't have to use my hand. I can just use my legs. It makes it hard. If she tries to turn it that way, I hook this in and I get this hip down. If she tries to hold that way, I do the opposite. I put this hip down. This side of the hip down. It makes it hard for her rollings, right? This is how you wear your opponent out. So as they're trying to get out of this position, they're trying to roll you. You're switching your hip base. If you have to, you can go out forearm like this and just keep switching your base. Now this leaves your arms more vulnerable, but if you have to, you have to. Now if they try to get this arm, go ahead and try to pull that arm in tight. When they try to pull it, you just keep it stiff. Now when they try to pull it in tight, what you do is you pull in here and come in and back out and around, bam. Now please don't push it up hard for a second if I can show it properly. Yeah. It comes in, your elbow stays the same, and you tuck your hand in under and come back and tuck it back down. Or you can take your hand and put it palm up. This is much easier. So they're putting pressure on it. Go my pressure on it. You can turn it palm up for just a second as you're turning it in. Don't turn it palm up right away, otherwise you can get arm bar like that. It kind of hurts. Turn it this way first and then turn it palm up to get it in and then out and back again like this. So the second you feel them pulling pressure, go put pressure on the arm, then you go boom and back out again. And so it's a swim like this. Boom. So boom, 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 boom. And then sometimes just vary it. Go ahead and push pressure. And sometimes it can be kind of hard anyway for them to pull it in. And if they can't pull the arm, then just don't worry about it. But sometimes it's good to vary it. Like once you start to feel them pull your arm in, then you can go and then swim. Bam. And you're back out again. So you keep doing that until they get tired. So this is the position you want to end up in, and that's how you want to control it. And once you control that position enough and get them tired, that's when you can go for Americana. Now I'm going to show the Americana. This is going to be something I'm probably have to move the camera in closer on and really be able to see this better.
You can show from this angle though, because then it goes.
Yeah.
And you can show from.
I'll show it, and then I'll try to show it again with the camera closer, because it's something that it's good to be able to see everything properly. So if you have this kind of control right here, you have your hooks in. At some point, they're going for this arm again, let's say, or they're trying to grab your wrist, and then you can swim out of the wrist the same way. And then at some point, you can see that you now have control of their wrist, right? See how I'm showing how that they grab my wrist? I can pull in and around, snake, and then grab their wrist and pin it to the ground. Now at this point, you're C gripping, and you're pinning it to the ground. So I'm pinning the C, the weakest part, to the ground. They can't put, my weakest part now becomes the ground. They can't put their arms to the ground, and that's why I want to C grip. If I monkey grip, they can just pull the arm toward them. So I want to make sure C grip right now. Then I want to get my hooks in, make sure my hooks are always in anyway. Then I'm going to take the arm, I'm going to feed it to this arm that's behind their head. I'm going to feed it over here, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to C grip it, and I'm going to hold it toward the ground. Right? So I'm still holding my C grip down to the ground. Try to get your arm out. It's really hard to get the arm out from this position. Take your hand under, so your palm's up. Palm up underneath their arm, come through, grab your own wrist with a monkey grip. Now once you have a monkey grip, you can let go of the C grip and go to monkey grip on this hand. The reason why is because your wrist is blocking her weak part. Right? So before, just really quickly, before, if I have just this grip right here without my arm in, so if I try to just stay right here and I try to do that, in other words, let's say I'm in C grip, right? I switch to my hand, I go C grip. I say I go monkey grip as I'm going underneath her arm. She can pull her arm out right now. Pull your arm out, boom, now pull your arm out of the way, see, now she's got her arm out. But if I keep the C grip and I'm coming under now, try to get your arm out. She can't get her arm out. It's tight, it's in there. I have it to the ground. Until I get this arm monkey gripped, then I can ungrip, and I can do monkey grip here as well. And then I twist my wrist just a little bit, not too much, just enough to her arms facing down, and I monkey grip this, and I kind of turn it tight. And then from here, I want to pull my elbow into her head here. I'll try to release the around the head in just a second. Then you want to get this hook, opposite hook, so the hook that is opposite of the arm you're attacking.
What is this arm up for this one? Okay, go ahead. Lots of hairspray
So
is good.
get your hook in tight on this side, get your weight down. So you hook tight, your weight's driving into the opposite side that you're attacking. And then all you have to do is you want to take this arm, hand down, and you want to paint it across the canvas, down like this. And as you're painting it with your hand down, keep your hand up, please. As you're painting it down the canvas, you're going to be lifting their elbow up. And that's what causes the pain in the shoulder.
How does this not work for you? Oh, these baby hairs, they suck.
So, arm into their head. This is the finished position. Hook in tight, head down, bring your knee up a little bit, bring your elbow down to your knee, and then you're going to paint their hand down as you're lifting the elbow up. Okay, so, and do it very slowly with your partner because it's really easy to hurt the shoulder. Now, one little detail, let's go back to here. You take this C grip, you pull it into this hand, still C gripping and holding, under, palm up, grab monkey grip. Now I'm going to monkey grip. Now once you're monkey grip, get this hook in tight right here for a second. Ride them out, let them try to turn you and everything for a second, because they're probably going to. And then you can quickly, just for a second, get your hooks in, and then you kind of come up like this, and shoot your head up like this, your arm up. And then come right back down here, and then meet me, get the hook back in again. Now you're at the proper position, you put your head down, you can come in here, hip up tight, get the pressure, then you just drag the arm and then lift. Now, the proper way to practice that is when you're doing this, here. When you're pulling this down, it's like this. You're pulling the hand down toward you. As you're doing that, keep your head down and just lift your shoulder like that. Like that. Don't come way out here and try to tweak it like this. It doesn't work. It just stays tight and up. So we're going to show the wrong way to do it really fast.
Use
Like this.
same one?
Huh? Okay, I'm just going to show the wrong way to do it. Yeah, there you go. There's all done. Right, so the wrong way to do this.
Hold on one second. Sticking it here.
So you have everything down right, but the wrong way to do this is you're trying to come up like this, and you're trying to go this way. This doesn't really work because she can actually turn into me, and she can alleviate a lot of the pain, and it's like I can't get it. Another way it's wrong is don't have it way out here. That's why your elbow needs to touch your head. If I try to start going like this, it doesn't really work as good. It's hard to wrench on it, and get it proper. They can always bridge and get out of it. So it's really important that the elbow is against their neck, tight right here. And then everything's tight. You keep their hand parallel to their head. You don't want it in too much. You don't want it out too much. As a matter of fact, you can pull it in as tight as you can because only can go as close as hold your wrist. Don't hold your arm. You're holding your own wrist. You pull this in tight as you want to because you only go so far. It's better to do that than to have it way out here like this. This is much harder to apply the technique than if you have it really close and tight. And then you want to shoot this hook in. Open this way. You want to shoot this hook right here, not this hook, not the same side. You want the pressure on the opposite side, this side right here. That's the side you want all the pressure on. And then you're going to come down here, and you put your head in. This knee comes out for base. Just in case, look, if they want to turn and push me, they're going to push me this way. That's why this hook is in. And it's hooked in tight and high, so they can't push me out that way. Head down. You want to paint the hand down and then lift like this with your shoulders. Just barely. And that's all it takes. Just make sure you go really, really slow. The other way to do it is you have them out position. They're probably praying. They're doing some sort of defense like this or something, which is common. Your main goal is a stiff arm. Grab both hands over their arm and just push it straight down like that, boom, to the mat. Now, at this point, you're sparring, so it's not like you're always being super kind. It might cause them a little bit of discomfort, but that's part of jiu-jitsu. So you hold it tight against their body and just push straight down like you're trying to go right through their shoulder. And they're going to let their arm go. Bam. Because if they don't, it's going to hurt. And once you have the arm pinned, you hold it there for a second and you put your head, your elbow between your neck. Now if they turn their head toward you for some reason, you just push your arm down, they're going to turn your head. You just keep pushing to your chin, they're going to turn your head. And bang, you got your arm between there. Then you hook the hooks in just like before. And then here, you want to go to the C grip on this hand to hold it tight against the ground. Remember, if you do monkey grip, they can pull their hand out. See? They can pull out this way. So C grip here, and then you underhook, just like before. Everything's the same now. Now you can let go of this thumb and go back to monkey grip, and pull it in tight like you're revving a motorcycle. And then head down, get the hook in tight like this, and this sneaks out for base. Pull it down, and then just drag and pull. So it's down and up. So those are the two positions. And once you finally get to the mount, you manage to do that, and you manage to tire them out. Those are the two options you have. If you have them in headlock, you can do it where you drag and pull it. There's different ways to also get. Let's turn this way. There's different ways we can get to the arm. So as you're defending this, make sure your hooks are in. Your hook should be in at all times, even if you're just like this. Hooks should always be in. That prevents them from trying to roll you and push you. Now, if they push off your chest for some reason, you probably won't run into this very often, but if they're trying to push off your chest like that, you can then use that to come in and snake around and grab an arm to the ground and pin it, and now you got an arm that you can start attacking. And you can go boom, 2-on-1. Now you're trying to attack this arm. Now at this point, they're probably going to try to roll into you this way to push you off and try to roll you. And once they do that, your hook comes in, your weight's down. And then you can pull your hand into here and hold it here for a second. Now they can try to roll all they want. You got good control. Once you have good control, then you come in here like this, and then you have the control. When you come down just a little bit, head down, and then you start painting it up. Like that. And so that's another way it could happen. There's tons of different ways. Maybe you're like this, and you have your hooks in, and they come up and they try to hold you like that. Yeah, try holding. Okay. They're just trying to hold themselves. They're just trying to hold themselves close. You know, this isn't no big deal. You just lay flat on them like this. You just hold your hands out, hooks in. You know, wait for a second. Don't let them recover too much though, because they know they're tired themselves out. So at this point, you have your hooks in. Come for a headlock here, and then start pushing this way and start attacking this arm. So come through like this and push this arm out, and try to come in and swim through and got the arm down. Or if they have their arm tucked in here, you can just grab at the wrist and just push your waist down and put it to the ground. So it's like this. Their arms in here, it's trying to push it, or they're trying to bridge against your neck, let's say. Now the one hand against my neck, their hands are pushing. So they're trying to bridge against my neck. They're trying to do this, where I have my hooks in. I can just take this arm, come through this way, push down that way. Now I can start attacking this arm for Americana. So there's all different kinds of ways from this top position to do Americana. There's more online, so look up how to, from full mount to Americana. There's tons of different ways to get to it. That's just some of the ways you can get into it. And so now at least you have an ending game. Now we're going to show you the drill, getting in between these different positions. And then I already showed you one already, how to get from full mount to mount. That's not how to get out of position, but how to get from one dominant position to another. There are, like I said, techniques you can learn a little more harder from the guard that you can tap your opponent with.
I mean, I thought you had to stand up.
But, oh, I guess we can do it that way.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we'll show you from different angles on how to do the drill. So this is the drill you want to do with the partner. And it's super important because you can transition through all three major positions and start to feel comfortable getting from those different positions. I don't know why that's like irritated right now. Must have gotten loose. Or scratch or something. It just doesn't happen when we're doing this. Most of them that thing. But anyway, so we'll show you how to get in all these positions, and they're really important. You want to practice this obviously with a partner, so it's really, that way it makes it really, it's kind of hard to do by yourself. So
you need to make sure you're doing it right.
Even a good jiu-jitsu dummy doesn't make this hard to practice with, because you have to kind of do all the work for the dummy, and with this way the person can do it. And this is really important stuff to know, so we're going to go through it, and then maybe I'll go through quickly a few of the ways to transition if they get you in a bad position. No, actually, there's already tons of videos on how to get out of all these. So if you ever get in a bad position, you get mounted, you get in someone's guard, you get in, you get your back gets taken, you get in someone's side mount. There's tons of videos on how to escape those positions. So, but first, master all this information, understand all this, because once you understand all this, you're going to do so much better and get submitted much less often.
And let us know if you liked the video.
Definitely let us know you like the video, because if I get a lot of support, people like the video, let me know, hey, I like how you teach, and I would like to learn more from you specifically, because there's already tons of stuff out there how to get out of certain positions and stuff, but maybe like how I teach and I make it make sense better to you than they do or something. Like, hey, can you make more videos? We'd like to see more jiu-jitsu videos. Would be kind of cool.
And like what kinds of stuff?
Yeah, and maybe I'll even share some of the street jiu-jitsu stuff, the jiu-jitsu specifically for street fighting, and also it incorporates other things that I've learned throughout the years, boxing and Muay Thai and things like that, for people that don't want to, but you need to know how to fight on the ground, but maybe you just want to ground and pound, you don't want to learn how to submit and all that kind of stuff, but it'll have all of that included in it. But anyway, so, well, how you do this drill is one person starts on the mount. So I start here, I got the mount. And let's say I'm just like, you can start out flat-handed like this, or you can start out hooked, either way. But it's better to start out flat-handed. And I got my hooks in. Now the first thing that the person on the bottom is going to do is they're going to buck me forward, cause me to.
Done like this, right?
No, over, under, remember?
Yeah.
You just want to trap one arm. So you grab that arm, and then come over, just over my body.
Like.
Not this arm. You're not trying to trap this arm. You're not worried about that arm. You're trapping this arm.
if I'm over it.
Right, this arm goes over my back.
Oh, okay.
Over the back. All the way over as far as you can. There you go. That pulls me down tight. And then she wants to trap a leg, just like we done before. So she's trapping the same tight strap. Pull that arm in tight. Pull it tight. There you go. Get up. If you have to watch. Hold on. Let go. If you have to take your arm and put it inside and right like this to your chest. So boom, trap it. Get it tight, and pull it in. There you go. So now this arm's tight. So she got this arm trapped. She has this leg trapped, and this leg is already on the inside.
I'm walking towards my
Because
butt.
I had my hooks in. But remember, I had my hooks in, so let's go back to where I had my hooks in. So I had my hook in, and it's up, so she had to get her foot out, kick it straight out. See, show that again in slow motion. Kick her straight out to the ceiling, and then tuck it in on the inside of my foot, boom, like that. Now it's already, and then she starts pushing off that foot.
While I walk to my butt.
No, we're not going to do that one. We'll just do this right here.
Oh, okay.
Just push off the foot, and then swing to the sky at the same time. Swing, push, and bam, that rolls me over. Now, we're going to get back into position over here.
Hang on.
Okay, so now basically, she went from me being in mount to me being in guard. And now I'm going to be holding her like this. Now, when you're practicing this, just slight pressure right here. You don't have to do a lot of pressure. So, I have a gable grip. I'm not doing a whole lot of pressure. Just enough for she's going to take this elbow and she's going to strip it out from over her head. So push out and get her head up. And then you know you want to start posturing up. So she wants to posture up. Now when you posture up, your hands stay on the hips. You're pushing the hips down. Stiff arm, and you're pushing the hips down. Your hair's so everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Wait, stop. Let me try.
Alright, sorry.
Lean down. Try to lean it.
I was trying to rock out.
Try to fix it. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so stiff arm,
Breathing is probably the best.
and her arms are into my hips. My feet are staying locked behind her back. So I don't know how I can show that, but well, again, we'll show this in different positions, different angles. My feet are locked behind her back, so she needs to break that lock I have on her back. So I'm going to be trying to get and pull her back down. So you need to stay postured up. You don't want to lean too far back, otherwise I can come here and I can push her away from me. So she doesn't want to stay too far back, and she doesn't want to stay too far forward because I can re-grab her head again. And so from here, as she's posturing up, remember what to do, right?
Yeah, like this.
She wants to step up onto one leg. Now I can try to sweep around and try to sweep this. So you just got to be careful when you put this leg up to not bring it too far forward, because you don't want them to be able to grab your ankle and try to prevent you from
So I need it like right here, right?
right. And I want to keep it behind my leg kind of while you're still posturing off my. And then the next thing I want to do is get on this knee and drag that knee and put it. No, that's not how you do it.
Oh, that's right.
You just drag that knee back. There you go. Now you turn your hip sideways. And when she turns hip sideways, it breaks my grip I had on my feet. And then she wants to immediately put her, no, don't go down that far. You don't want to go that far. You immediately, once you have it down, put your knee, slide your knee over my leg. Her knee slides over the leg. You want to kind of put a lot of pressure on it. Keep this knee up high, like this. So I can't get half guard or try to relock my legs. You want to keep this knee up high and pushing into it. You don't want me to be able to get this leg out.
Okay.
So keep it up high. Drive it high. Drive into me. Drive into me. Drive all the way into me. Keep this up high. See, now my leg can't do anything. And then get this knee and slide it to my armpit. Boom. And now I want to immediately come here. This is the standard defense right here. So not flat-footed like this. And if I'm flat-footed like this, all she has to do is take a leg and just climb right over and she has full out. Now she has full out. Very easy for her. Now go back. If I defend myself like this, I'm blocking her hip. I remember it's supposed to be sideways to me. Yeah, so right now I'm blocking her hip. Now try to step over.
Do I want to like turn down and do it? It's easier.
So now I can turn into her like this, and I can prevent her from getting, I can start creating space by pushing and
I'm come up like this. Oh, gotcha.
I was trying to demonstrate something, but
I'm sorry.
go back. Side mount. So you want to use this defense right here, like this. The reason for this is if I'm going to stiff arm right here, I'll hold it right here against her hips. If she tries to step over this, try to step over it, I can push my knee in between her now. So now she no longer can take them out. She doesn't have side control, and she doesn't have them out. So that's why it's important to have this control right here against her hip. So what she's going to do is she's going to switch to a modified mount. Then she's going to, no, like I'm still blocked. You're going to grab your own foot with this hand.
I'm just getting my feet adjusted. Like this. Grab my toes.
Yep, pull them up.
All the way up. And then over.
And now she has to pull them out. Now the process starts all over. So now it's my turn
To do it.
to do everything. So what I want to do is, now you come back and just keep you come back and keep your
Let me
knee.
adjust my saggy bun. I'm just kidding. I can't really adjust it
So
right
what
now.
I'm going to do is I'm going to take my feet off the ground here. I'm going to buck her forward. And what that's going to do is I'm force her to have to catch herself. Because I'll buck her hard. She's going to have to catch herself. Now I want to then trap an arm. When she's down here, right, and she's holding herself. What I want to think about is I want to over-under. So I want one arm to be over and one arm to be over. So I want to trap an arm. So whatever side I want to trap, that's the side I'm going to go for this side here. So when I buck her, I need to get this arm in here. In fact, this is a good position to be in, is inside, not your arms outside right now. So I'm going to buck her, get this arm right here. And then as I come around, I'm going to wrap it, I'm going to tighten it, I'm going to show them a different angle, and come over here like this and hold her down. And then this is a good position anyway, just to be in. Now she no longer has a good, strong, full mount position. I'm going to take this leg on the same side of the arm, I'm going to trap that foot. Now remember, have your hooks in. Okay, so I'm going to trap, this foot's already trapped in, make sure the hook's in. This one though, I need to get out, so I need to kick my leg up in the air straight and tuck it in on this side. Right, so it looks like at the same time I'm kicking it straight out, I'm also coming this way. So I'm going up and this way, down to the ground. I'm going to bridge off of this foot and on this shoulder. I'm going to make sure that their hand is tucked around my shoulder so I don't hurt their hand. I'm going to roll on that shoulder to here. Now once I'm here, I want to get down, and now I'm going to come all the way down here. I can let go of this arm, and I want to start pushing on the hips and posturing up. Now if she gets an arm around my head, I want to push off the elbow, get her to the side, come up, and I want to posture here, like this. This is the posture position. Now I'm putting all my weight with stiff arms on her hips. Why? So she can't move anywhere. I'm pinning her hips to the ground. From here, I'm just going to stand up on this leg. The leg stays close to me. Right? So it's just like that. So she can't really do anything to it. This all happens very fast, but at first you want to practice it slow. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn your hips sideways. Try to keep your legs wrapped around my back. When you're pushing off, you push all your weight off her hips right here, or off your opponent's hips, whoever you're sparring with. Right here, I'm going to push all my weight. This is where my weight is. And I'm going to take my weight and push it, my hips sideways. So I'm using all my weight here. Then I'm going to arch my back like a cat, like a midnight cat on Halloween. I'm going to arch my back. Sometimes that's enough to break because the legs are shorter.
Yeah.
If not, then this leg is going to slide back that way. I'm going to push off her hips, and this leg's going to slide back that way. And that's going to break the legs around my back, break the wrap that she has, the lock. Then I'm going to take my elbow and I'll push her leg to the side, or you might stiff arm the leg, and I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to slide it over right here. You don't want to just try to walk over. You want to slide your leg over with your shin and everything. I have bony shins, so I'm going to do it kind of slow like that.
Just raise your shins.
And then immediately, when you take this arm, you want to hug across their neck and come up high like this. I'm high on this foot, this leg's high. She can't get me to half guard right now. I'm still holding this leg. I'll show you another angle how I'm holding this leg. Take this leg out here. I want to tuck it in fast. And I put it by her hips right here. And then this knee comes over here like this. And then I'm going to take my knee. I'm going to turn sideways like this. She's going to be in the defensive posture. There you go. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to grab my own toes. I'm going to bring them crossed and over. Now I'm in position. Now let's do it from a different position really quick. So now I'm going to show it sideways. I'm going to do it again on top. That way I can explain. We're not going to go back and forth. I'm just explaining it all from different positions now. So she starts off in full mount. First thing I want to do, my hands are tight here because she's in full mount. I don't want her to try to get my arms. So this is a concept. It's called the prayer position. And now I want to buck her hard. So I'm going to take my feet and push and buck her forward. When I do, I want to pull my arm. I want to grab an arm. In this case, I'm going to grab this arm. I'll pull this arm in tight. This arm I want to shoot up. And I want to grab her head. So now I have one arm and I have her head here tight. I'll take this foot here, get her hooks in. She keeps forgetting her hooks. Now, if her hooks are already in, I don't have to trap this leg. All I have to do, I'm going to take this leg, I'm going to just bite it. I'm going to take this leg and pull it in tight. That way I'm trapping her foot like this. So her foot, and I try to get that leg up. I have that foot trapped in like that. So it's trapped. Now remember, all this is slow motion at first, but it happens fast when you do it. It's all one motion. When you trap the arm, you're trapping the leg all one motion, and then you're kicking this leg out and coming and stepping inside, and you're bridging. So you're bridging off this foot, this right foot, and your opposite shoulder, your left shoulder. So if your right foot is the one that you're pushing, you're bridging, you're going to bridge sideways. You're going to take this arm, you're going to the sky, you're going to bridge off this left shoulder here, like that, so they just roll over to the side, and then boom. And then we're going to reset. Side position here. Now, let's say she grabs my head. This is always good to practice. Took her hand, push it off, come up, hold their arm until you get all the way to their hips here, posture. She wants to stay up high like this, and I want to get my knees back a little bit like that, so I can push straight down her hips, so her hips are on the ground. Once her hips are on the ground like this, I want to take just one foot, and I want to get up. I want to just step on it like that. So now I'm on a foot and a knee. So from this side, it looks like this. I'm on a foot and a knee like that. And now I want to take this, I want to break it sideways. So I want to push all my weight, I want to turn my hip sideways like this. Because what happens is, take it a second. When my hips are this way and her arms are around me, this way is shorter for her legs to go around. But if I turn sideways like this, my hips are sideways, they're a lot longer. So it's harder for her to keep her legs around. Some people with short legs, it's enough to just do this and then turn sideways like this. Sometimes that's enough. If not, just arching your back is enough to break it. If it doesn't, let's say it doesn't break it by arching back. Arching back means you're pushing off her hips and stiff arm, and you're arching your butt out, your back. Now, if that's not enough to break it, then you have to arch and say it doesn't break. Then you take this other leg, the one that you're not on your foot, and you want to take that knee, you want to step back with that one whole step. That's enough to break the guard. You got to be quick because they're going to try to spin into you. So immediately push this leg down and step on it with your knee. And then immediately jump here to their head as you're stepping over that leg. And this leg stays inside tight like this. So the leg is up. And you're here like this. Boom. Right? This foot is staying locked like this on your leg for right now. That way she can try to get your leg up. Like go crazy. Try to pull it towards you wherever. It's really hard for her to get her leg up. So now this happens quickly, but you're just holding this foot for a second, so it's locking that leg. This leg comes around all the way over this other foot. And then you can release this foot and come to the side. And then you have side mount. Once you have side mount, you do modified side mount. So instead of going this way, like this, you take this leg and you go this way like this. So now my leg is parallel with her body. My knee is...
This hair is impossible.
My knee is into her hip right here, and my leg is parallel to her body. And I'm still holding her tight. And I got this back leg here as control, just so she tries to push me. I can control myself. I'll show you from another angle, you'll see this better. And then she's blocking herself here. Now, if she wasn't blocking herself, if she was trying to just turn into me like this, like turning her knees or whatever, I can just hold her knees in here and step right over them. So if they're really inexperienced and you get to this position, if they're not doing this, either way, even if they are doing this, try to grab this arm here and try to pull their leg into you for a second. This confuses them, makes them think they're trying to pull in. They're trying to pull into you. They're going to try to keep. They're going to try to, right? They might not know what to do. They might let go. I don't know. Everyone's react differently. But nonetheless, try to pull. And as you're pulling, let go, and immediately grab your own toes, not your foot here, not your ankle. Grab your own toes on top of them like this. And then you want to take your foot and just simply pull it inside their belly right here and shoot it straight across. And now you've got the full mount. Right? Now it starts all over and she flips me over.
And this is the cycle.
Yeah, so the cycle starts over. I want to show one more angle. Because first we started with your head facing that way, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so now we want to start with this way.
So
But that way they can see, that way they can see what my feet are doing. Alright, so we're going to show that same sequence from the position where you can see what the feet are doing. So you start off in full mount. You want to take your feet and you want to push off the ground hard and buck them and push your pelvis up like you're trying to hump the sky. I know it's a weird way to say it, but it's a way that makes sense. That pushes them up high enough to where you can get an arm underneath and grab this arm. The other one you're going to come up, you're going to grab behind their head and pull them in tight. Now notice if she had her hooks in probably, but she didn't every single time.
I keep forgetting those.
So she'll have her hooks in right now. And then I already have this foot trapped now because she has her hooks in. All I have to do now is I need to get this hook free. So get it in deep and tight. I just got to kick this leg up to the sky, pull it over this way, and down. From here, I just tuck this arm in tight. I want to make sure that this hand is not flat out on the mat. Her hand is not flat on the mat. Because if it is, and I start to roll, I can actually really damage her hand, her wrist. So if I notice that, I want to kind of look and make sure that if I'm sparring, I want to make sure, and if you're practicing with your partner, definitely make sure if you see it, kind of elbow it. Remind them, hey, tuck your hand in like that. And tell them, if they don't know what you're doing, say tuck your hand in, you don't want to hurt your hand. Tuck this elbow in, pinch tightly like this. This arm reaches for the sky. As you come over like this hand is tight. This leg comes right here, just stays and locks that leg. This leg, the second you kick it out and in, you want to start bridging. Going for the roll right away. At one movement, this pinches tight, this pushes off, this goes this way. Now when you push off this foot, you're going off the opposite shoulder, so you're pushing like this. And then you're going over like that. Boom. And then we're back here, and we're right back to where we started before. And so now, well, we're not fully started yet, but we're almost back. Anyway, put your hand over my head. Headlock my head.
I'm trying to put arm here.
Okay, it's always good to practice getting out of the headlock here. Because most people are going to have some sort of under-over on you. Pull the elbow and push and get your head out and keep pushing their elbow against their face until you get up to here. Hold their arm down if you can. And then you come to their hips and you posture up like this. From here, you just want to, I kind of like to tuck this foot in right here, so this foot. I like to kind of tuck it in like this, and I get on this foot right here. I don't want to go way out here, because now I'm off balance, so she can throw me this way really easy. But if I'm right here, she can't do that. My weight is still up and down. My weight is all on her hips. I'll keep her hips pinned to the ground. Keep my arms stiff and her pinned to the ground. From here, I'm going to take a slight step backward with this knee, and then I'm going to start arching my back. If that doesn't break her grip, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knee all the way back here. That will break the grip. The second the grip is broken, push your elbow down like this, and then you want to take this knee, right away push all the way off here and slide your knee over her leg like this. Immediately, this hand now jumps over here like this. I want to jump. Don't stay, pretend like you're staying down. I want to jump to here with my head here. If I can, I'm going to work my hand underneath their head. I'm staying up high and tight. Notice how her leg is staying high and tight. Notice how this foot is staying over her leg. I don't want to do this. That allows this leg to get free. Now she can lift it up and start to try to attack this leg. I keep my foot close to her butt so she can't grab this leg as easy. But now, look at, she's got my leg trapped. So let's go back. That's why you hold this leg like this with this foot for a second. You keep your shin on the inside of the thigh and this foot hooked in like this. Now this foot's high, this foot's close to their butt. My hand is blocking their hips from sprawling out. This foot quickly goes out and comes around and steps on the other side of this foot here. Once it does, I can take this foot, I can slide it toward her armpit and this foot to the side right here. And now I'm here, this elbow is blocking her hips. Then I want to quickly switch here like that. And then this foot right here out like this. And this leg, see how this leg is against her body right now. I want to go and reach for her legs and try to pull them toward me, but she's in this defensive stance, so I can't. I'm going to slide all the way down, almost like I'm trying to pull her guard. I'm trying to pull her foot off. So she thinks I'm trying to break this. She thinks I'm trying to do this right here, right? So I'm pulling this down. She thinks I'm trying to do that. Instead, I'm sliding all the way down to grab my own toes. Remember, hands over your toes, over the front of your toes. Not on the side of your toes, because any of your toes can still get caught, and you can even hurt a toe. But if you go over your toe, it's really easy to bring it in. So it goes from the ground here, up, grab your toe, swing it here across her belly, and then to the other side of her hip so she can't escape that way. And then you come down here and then immediately tuck your feet in like this and start going out so you have your hooks in. And then it's her turn to do that. Now I want to make a couple things more clear from this side view real quick here. When you're inside, well, first let's actually start from this. I just want to show this real quick. When you're here and you step up onto one leg, in this case I'll step onto this leg, let's say. You can see it this way. This other knee's going to go back like I saw before, back like this. I'm going to break it, and I'm going to push this knee to the side, and I'm going to crawl over. Now, I'm going to show it from this way again. Back here, keep your legs tight. Her legs should be locked around my back. Now, if I just arch my back, sometimes it's not to break it, but sometimes it's not. So instead, I'm going to turn sideways and go back with this knee. That breaks it. And then immediately push down and step over like this with your shin. And step all the way over like that. Boom. And keep this leg held down. This leg here, I'm going to drive all the way forward. So I'm going to drive all my weight forward like this. Keeping this leg trapped. Right? See how my leg's all the way forward? And then notice my foot is close to her butt right here. This foot is close to her butt. Keeping her leg up high. Why? Now she can't get her legs together. She can't go to half guard. This foot here, immediately I'm going to take this foot out, step behind this foot here, then I can let go of that. This knee comes right to her hip, this hand blocks at her hip, this knee comes right up to her armpit. Then I come here and I can hold her. Now I'm holding only weight tight against her chest so she can't sit up. Everything's tight. I can let her roll around for a second, try to get out a little bit, and then I want to come to grab this leg and start trying to pull it toward me. When I'm doing that, I'm switching here. So my leg now is perpendicular. Now this knee is against her hip, and I'm holding this leg, or I'm holding this hip. But I'm going to be holding this leg, act like I'm trying to pull it toward me. But really I'm going for this foot. And that's when I pull, and I can even act like I'm trying to pull her leg here, and it's slide down and quickly grab the foot and just come underneath her leg, not over her leg this way. And you can, but if I'm going over her leg and she sees it, she can trap my leg, and bam, now I'm in a half guard. So instead, get back over, I want to come not over, but under her leg, across her belly right here. They probably can't see that, but across her belly and across and over And then immediately sink in this hook in, and then work on this hook right here, bam. Okay, so, and then she would buck me,
And then do the cycle again.
and the whole cycle would go over again. So let's just show you how she buck me. Boom, over under. She traps this arm. She traps, that leg's already trapped. This leg she had to kick out and get inside. Bridge on her shoulder and push up to the sky and roll at the same time. Boom. That puts her into my guard. She wants to strip her. She wants to strip.
Come over here. This is my body. Do you want to get more?
Just strip the headlock down. I'm holding it.
So you don't want to come down or you're not in the view?
Huh?
Come down.
No, yeah.
We're in the view. Oh.
So strip my elbow off and roll it up. Boom. Now she's her head out. Immediately she shoves it to my face and pushes herself up while she's doing so. Like that. Bam. Now she's there. And then boom. Now her leg goes back. She turns her hip sideways.
Archie didn't work. Is that excited?
Bam. That breaks the leg. Immediately come over with your knee. Nope. Keep this leg. But keep it locked with your foot to the ground.
Okay. So like this. So I say break it.
Get all your weight up this way. So as you're sliding.
Like that.
No. As you're sliding over my leg.
Right. Slide.
Slide it over it. But get this leg up high.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, no, yeah. All your weight should come over to this shoulder. Boom, and get this high. See, now my legs are trapped. I can't do anything. And then immediately she wants to take this leg. She wants to step away with that, and then sideways. And then she's good to go. Now from here, I want to switch to this defense right here. Like that. Now what she's, I should just go and scoot down.
Okay.
And it's hard to scoot down slowly here. Alright, there we go. So.
You're like a caterpillar.
So now what she wants to do is she wants to get this leg and she wants to turn so she can, but she wants to grab this leg though and pull it toward her. So try to pull my leg toward me, act like you're trying to step open over it, but then slide your hand down and try to keep trying to pull like you're trying to pull my guard. So I'm trying to hold it tighter, right? And then she slides down, she grabs her own toe and pulls it over. And bam, now the whole process starts over again. So really quickly, so you guys can see this one more time, and hopefully closer to the camera, you'll be able to see. So then, I'm going to bump her, and if I need to get in here tight, push her up so I can create some space, and then bump her, and then get my arm around here, grab this arm, come back down here, then I'm going to kick this leg out, and come this way, and down, and then bridge over, and boom, to here. From here, I'm going to posture up. She's going to wrap around my head, try to pull me down. When she does, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to pull my head down and push her arm up like this. Get my head out, I'm going to push it there and come all the way to her hips right here. On my hips, I'm putting all my weight on her hips. Then I'm coming up to one foot. I'm pulling this leg back and I'm breaking her lock, pushing down with my elbow, sliding across like this, keeping her leg pinned. All my weight wants to go that way. I want to drive this leg up that way by coming all the way over here, almost like if I'm doing this kind of like pressure pass. But instead I'm going to put my arm here so I can go to like that. And all my weight's up here, my foot's way up here. I don't want to get too far, I don't want her to be able to grab it, so I'm going to block this arm anyway. So I'm blocking this arm. And then I'm going to take this leg, I'm going to step all the way around to the side of this leg. You already saw what that looks like from the other angle. And then I'm going to go sideways. And then I'm going to go boom like here, and then I'm going to go boom here. I'm going to grab this and pull it in. Come sideways, so I'm going to grab my foot. Now hopefully this is the part where I want them to go see this. Lay down, your arms completely flat. From here, when I'm pulling the leg in, lay down and keep yourself all the way flat. As I'm pulling the leg in, I'm coming down like I'm pulling this foot. She's going to try harder to keep this guard now because she thinks I'm trying to break it. But I'm sliding it down instead of grabbing my toes and I'm pulling it under her leg and right here like this across her stomach. I don't think you see it on the camera. Okay, they can. So it's going all the way across her stomach right here to the other side of her hip right here, and it's mounted right there against her hips. Now my knee and my foot is against her hip. So she tries to turn into me, it makes it very difficult. Then I can just boom and slide into the mountain and get my, there it is. All right, so that's the full sequence you want to practice. Go ahead and sit back and face the camera.
Yeah.
My hair's probably all messy.
What are you talking about? Your hair.
And then, so you want to practice that back and forth many times until it becomes second nature. You should make it to where going through that sequence, you know, you rolling them and getting out and them rolling you, it's a continual sequence. It's an infinite sequence. So whenever you guys get tired, that's when you stop. You want to practice that as much as possible, because what it does is it gets you very familiar with being in those 3 positions and how to get out of them. Now, like I said, there are many other ways to get out of positions, and there's tons of videos on that to show all that. What we like to show really fast before we exit this video, since it's already super long anyway, is come over here. So when we're starting, we're starting from the fighting position, and they decide to take a bit more of an aggressive position, and they stand up. You know, they stand up. So you're holding, you want to try to keep your feet locked behind them and stay standing, and try to keep your hand on their wrist. Try to keep as many points of contact as you can. This prevents them from doing anything. If you let that hand go, they can start working on this leg to try to pass your leg. They're going to try to, what they're trying to do right here is they're going to try to kick a leg out in front and back in my leg. So they're going to try to go like this, like up and back, the same way you kind of got out of when we're just doing what we're just doing a second ago. So kick it out and back, there you go, around the world. Now she's wait. Now I have to step in front and hold the leg like this. Now we're here like this. One with her hips, and then I come right back in. And then I come right back in. And my goal is to try to hold her here. Now I don't let her do anything for a second. Now I want to try to get her. I want to try to get to the point where I can pull her leg in, and then if I can get this leg and pull this leg in, and then maybe even pull her arms down and try to pull this leg out, and then get it to where I get a leg around her. And then I get that leg out, and boom, now at least I got the once you get to here, you remember how to trap. I showed, just go back in the video where I showed you how to trap an arm and roll. It's very similar to how you get out of the full mount. So from here, you just trap the arm, trap the leg, take your foot on the inside of the leg, bridge up this way to the sky, up and over, and then boom. Another one you might want to practice from that position is remember that you have the 3 points of contact. So for whatever reason, they go to standing and you're defending yourself. Now the thing is I don't think in sparring, if you're not like, you can go to your knees maybe, but you can't like fully stand up if they're fully standing up. And then, even then, they're not supposed to be like fully standing up. They're supposed to be kind of like bending down sort of. But if you're back like this, that's when they're kind of standing up, trying to get around your guard. So you're just trying to hold a foot in and foot out and trying to twist. And constantly put a foot behind your leg. And this is so that they can't get easily around you. So she's trying to pass around.
I didn't actually think that was going to work.
Well, it didn't.
I got out though.
You didn't get around me though.
I don't know, the whole point is I was trying to get out of your butt.
Okay, but let's do that and then try to get around me.
I don't know, I'll probably fall. I felt like I was going to fall. But you had both of these in though.
Okay.
And I was like, I pushed my weight on you and I was like,
Alright, maybe just come here and just follow them.
Didn't work.
Hip on foot behind.
Got you out of the room.
So it makes it really hard for them to get past you now. If they happen to push all their weight, they're trying to pressure you. You're not pressuring me. You want to be pressuring me. So I'm trying to push. Now if you get to this point, we have butterfly, and they're pressuring into you. You can lift their weight up.
Oh, Superman!
Hold on, let's go back over here and go sideways. Actually, it's probably good the way it is. I'll do it from this position. So if they happen to be pressuring into you, right, and you have your hooks in, and they're pressuring, once they get over to a certain point to where you can feel their balance, you'll feel it. You'll feel when they're really trying to pressure down into you. Once that pressure is kind of once their chest is level with your chest, you know you can lift them up very easily, like this. And so then it's a quick lifting up and pull your legs out from underneath them and wrapping and dropping them back down. So it's simply just lifting them up, lifting them up. Why are you opening your legs?
I don't know. Here, let me do it again.
So it's simply lifting up, right? And after I lift up and I come back down, I'm gonna go like this, watch. I'm gonna lift them up. I don't know why she's doing that. A normal jiu-jitsu person wouldn't do that because then I can just.
I don't know. I'm trying to get as comfortable as I can.
Because then I can just sweep.
Alright, here, do that again.
But let's just say
Try to do it a little faster.
I'm gonna just do this one. Watch.
No, I'm not gonna do that one, so you can learn.
No, I'm just gonna do this one where I have my seatbelt right here.
Okay.
I have my feet pushing against you. I have you pushing all the way down. You're trying to get past. You're trying to smash past my legs. I can push out and then just let go into guard. Okay, so that's the general idea. Now you can do that from butterfly as well. Typically people won't do it. Should you go back? If I have here, typically people aren't going, and they're trying to pass or trying to pressure into me. She's not even pressuring into me. I feel no pressure at all. Supposed to be trying to pressure me, and then I lift up. I can then switch around and boom, like that. That's how it normally go. But she wasn't pressuring into me. If they're not pressuring into you, then who cares? Just hold them there and then sweep them. For example, if they don't know what they're doing, and they're not really pressuring you, you got them here, and all they're doing is just kind of leaning forward. Then just grab an arm, grab this arm here, take this leg, and sweep this leg. And if they lean that way, then sweep that leg. And then just sweep them. Or you can just grab this leg, and then sweep this leg. You can just sweep it up. So you pull the arm down, or you got behind this leg here, so I'm going like this, grabbing the leg like this, and then I can sweep this leg up as I'm pulling them down, like that. Now I can get me into. You can see how if I have this leg out, I can come here, and I can prevent them from getting guard because I have this here, and I can then get my legs out and so forth. Correct?
Yeah! Got you.
So, if both people are staying sitting though, if you're both, come over here, you're always going to stay seated until you start feeling comfortable going to your knees or trying to standing up and passing their guard. You can always practice with it, but I recommend starting from a sitting position. So if we're both in a sitting position, we're going to be doing this kind of fighting, pulling the head down. They're going to be pulling out. They're going to pull my head down. I want to come in. We're going to be constantly fighting for control. What you're looking for is for some point you can grab an arm and pull it toward you and get a foot on either on their hips here, and then you can kind of stretch them out.
Ooh, yeah.
And as you stretch them out, then you can pull, and you got them out really easy. Or they got the guard, sorry, the full guard, and your legs cross. So how that works is, if you're not playing the butterfly, where you're trying to get your feet, let's say they have their, well, if you're both seated, it's kind of hard to do butterfly. But if they're on their knees, once they get to their knees, you can pull your butterfly. You can just put your feet between their legs, and they're probably not going to be standing so high. They'll probably be kind of seated down more. But you just kind of have your feet kind of near their back, behind their knees. And then from here, you can actually work sweeps. You can grab this arm here and pull it down, and you can take this arm here, and then you can sweep this leg over, and you take it over like that. So that's one thing that's at your disposal that you can do. But let's say you're both seated, like I said. You're both like this, like Indian style, and you're both coming towards you. You're fighting. One thing actually you can do is you can try to grab both arms and pull them towards you, but they're going to come here and put your feet on their hips and then push out. It has to be fast because they're going to try to stink out. If they don't know what they're doing and they don't stink out, they just push all the way back like this. And then what you have to do is come forward, and now you have them in guard. Right? So if they're here though and they pull their arms out, pull your arms out, please. Right? So come on, do how you're supposed to do. Snake.
Okay, sorry.
Right? So if they pull their arms out like that, now this space right here doesn't really serve. I can still push, but it doesn't really serve too much purpose. So I'm going to immediately pull my legs back. I have to pull my own leg back into position like this because I'm vulnerable to leg locks. So one example would be if they have their legs up, Indian style. I don't know why you're sitting like that.
Oh, it's because you started pulling me in.
So if she has my arms and she pushes on my hips, now if she stretches me out, boom, all she says, is let go of her, let her feet sideways on my back, boom, and she can pull herself and pull me into guard. Okay, now, if for whatever reason she has her feet on my hips, she's holding my hand, she's trying to pull and stretch me out, I snake around and happen to get out, I can grab an ankle. That's why I immediately want to pull your legs back. Right? So if you don't pull your legs back, they can come here, they can pinch your foot, and it's really hard to get out of this. And then all I have
It's
to do,
already a move.
and then all I have to do is put their foot right here and take the other foot and put it up and over the leg. I can pull that foot aside. I can step in tight here. There's one way to do it. I can pull this in tight here and here, and I can come back on that foot, and I can start turning this way as I'm holding her hips down. I can also do the other way. I can also come in across her leg this way, have my other foot hooked on inside. I can walk her leg this way, and then I just have to lean back.
Ow! You went back way too fast.
That's how I let go. I let go because I felt this arm. Anyway, you want to hold with your armpit, you're holding her heel like this, and up and over, so she can't get her foot out. And then you're here, up and over. Then you just want to pull them. You want to pull back. Tap my leg when you want to tap. Tap my leg.
I was trying to hold it.
Make sure that when they tap you, they actually tap you somewhere.
Like.
And if they can't tap you somewhere, like when you're passing with your partner, say, hey, either physically smack me, like twice, so I know that you're tapping, or say tap. Right? So you gotta make it. If they're getting choked, they might as well say tap. And so they might, they might better try to hit you somewhere. Or if they can't do nothing else, then you just like stop or something. But anyway, you should know to only hold the choke for so long anyway. So you want to get tight here, hold this here, come back, lean to your side, and then you're gonna pull back. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to learn. I'm not trying to show you how to do this technique. I'm just showing you that that's something you get caught in. So the second you're here, and you manage to, let's say, pull 2 on 1 even, and you have 2 on 1's better than holding both arms. 2 on 1 here, behind the shoulder, or behind the elbow, and on the wrist, and then push their hips out, stretch them out, and then simply let your feet slide off of them and keep pulling them in. Boom, like that, now you got them into guard. Okay, so that's one way. You can go from sitting down. So either try to go for that, so as you're fist fighting, and you're knocking hands off. So when they grab this arm here, they're trying to go over. Remember, push their shoulder, immediately come back in, grab this arm. Now you have a good grip here. From here, you can already start to pull. So as you're going through this fighting stage, and you're grabbing their head, if they grab your head, hold my head down, protect your neck. This arm right here is protecting my neck for a second. Just in case they decide to shoot around for the wrong area, they try to shoot around for guillotine, I have protection here. Now I can grab this hand, and I can pull it off my head like that. So show this hand right here for guillotine. I'm protecting, see? That way they can't guillotine me. Then I can take this hand and pull it out. Now I have 2 on 1. And with 2 on 1, I can immediately come back, and I can just, if I do it fast enough, I can just pull them into my guard like that. Boom. But if they're really resisting, then I can push on their hips and stretch them out, and then let go like that, and then pull and try to get a foot on here, and then try to go the foot over like that. They might be trying to fight that, so as you're pushing your feet down, let's say they're trying to get the arm out. Pull the arm out. They pull the arm out from here, you want to sit right back up and pull your legs back in. If they happen to grab one of your feet, grab your own foot, 2 on 1, and pull your foot back. Grab their head. Start, if you know how to do the guillotine, look up how to do it. Start going for a guillotine now. If not, just hold on to your foot and don't let them have it.
You just taught it too, the guillotine.
Yeah, just hold on to your foot, don't let them have it, and then go from there. Really quickly, we're going to go turn that alarm off. Turn that alarm off real quick. So again, if you start from here, the other option you have, besides pulling guard, now once you pull guard, remember, from guard, just watch that one part, how to go from guard to mount. You want to stay in mount. Full mount, you want to tire them out, then try to go for Americana. That's your whole goal as a beginner for right now. As you start to learn other things, try to learn more defenses, how to get out of things. So you're going to find yourself getting into a lot of different positions you don't want to be in. You want to learn how to get out of those positions. For example, learn how to get out, learn at least one reliable way to get out of the back mount when they have the choke and they have you on the side. One easy way is sliding your shoulders off into the ground and turning into them. But I kind of showed that earlier in the video, but just make sure you have a way to get out of every major position. I didn't show how to get out of everything. The back mount was really the only thing I didn't really show how to get out of. Other stuff kind of we went through because that cycle shows you how to get pretty much everything, except for the back mount. Anyway, just watch more videos on the back mount escapes. Alright, so the other thing we're going to try to do is if you can get a 2-on-1, so let's say they grab this wrist, you're swimming out, you're swimming around, they grab your elbow, immediately push on that shoulder, get your arm out. Now from here, watch, if you grab this arm, you can slide this right to a 2-on-1, you can pull them toward you. Now another kind of drag and pull you can do when you drag and pull them is pull them across like this. You got to show some resistance. Okay?
Sorry, I was just letting you show it demonstrate.
So I'm going to pull them across like that. And immediately I want to come in here and hug them tight, over and under. I want to pull them to a back position. Right? I want to try to take the back. Now if you're not comfortable with the rear naked choke yet, then there's kind of no point to taking the back if you don't know how to do any submissions from it. Because from the back it's kind of hard to go from the back mount to something else. So if you want to try to transition from the back mount, so let's say you get the back mount, you're like, yeah, I got the back mount, but you don't know how to properly do the choke and it's not working, they strip your arms off, they then turn around and now they're in your, now they'll be, if they don't, most likely if they happen to turn around and turn around, they're going to get into your guard, your full guard, right here, boom. From here, this is fine, this is what we want to be anyway, because then you trap an arm, you trap a leg, you take the other foot to the ground on the inside of their foot, and you push here, and then you bridge off that foot, and you, as you're bridging, you're going off the shoulder, and then you're pulling them over like that, and then you're getting into the full mount. Boom. So, if you do happen to take the back, then and you don't know what to do, and the choke doesn't work, then you know you can at least let them turn into your guard. Other things, if you're holding this here, just taking a breather, you know, you're kind of resting for a second, see what they're going to do. They're going to be trying to strip this arm out, just so you know. They're going to be trying to pull and strip that arm. When they do, you can try to get this arm deeper, then they're going to start trying to strip this arm. And as they start trying to strip that arm, they're going to start turning into you. This way. From here, you can just follow them and try to modify and keep this position if you want. But unless you know how to do here, try to go for arm bar or try to turn into some other thing, then it's probably best just to let them turn around into your guard. So just try to make it sure that as they're turning around, that you keep your feet close. So when they're turning into you, turning into me? As they're turning into you, you want to keep your feet around them the whole time. So that now they're in your guard. Then from the guard, they're going to try to posture up. When they posture up, you want to try to bring them back down. So you can come here, and come and hold them, and bring them back to here. Then now you have an arm trapped. Once the arm's trapped, the leg's trapped, and then you go and you bridge up, and you push, and you pull the arm at the same time. So I want to take this leg, I want to chop the leg, and I want to push. My head's so close to the wall I can't do it. But let me push it away from the wall. So you want to push off this foot here. You can come here at this point. You can push off and over, and then come over here and then back. So it's a fine sequence. Now, another thing that you can do, let's go back to the seated position. I'm just showing you these are the things that you're going to be starting with every time you're sparring. You're back in this position here. And so you want to learn what you can do in this position, how to defend yourself, and what to do. If they just like straight come right at you, all their body weight, boom, they're trying to smash against you. At this point, immediately just get your feet up onto their hips here. Boom, feet onto the hips as they're smashing you, so that you can easily come into guard. From guard, again, you already know how to try to get into full mount. From full mount, you know, if you watch the whole video, you know how to control the full mount, tire them out, and then go for Americana. The other thing, you're fighting, I want to show different ways to fight off different positions. So they grab a wrist. This is all for no gi, by the way. They grab a wrist, they grab let's say over and under, and they start pulling me. When they pull me, again, you want to push with the arm for just a second. I like to push the arm that's close to me. Boom, like that. Push it for a second, and then do a round the world, palm up, grab their wrist now, pull their shoulders still, pull them toward you, maybe secure that for a second. Now they're going to try to pull your arm off and get out, and then you pull them toward you, and you can try to start coming this way and tacking their side back here like this, forcing them to, like you're holding their hips in here. Now they might do all kinds of unpredictable things, but most likely what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to prevent you from taking their back, so they're going to try to turn into you and get you into guard. And that's when you want to control this leg, so they can't get you to guard. So when you're holding them here, like this, be careful with this back leg. Here, let's go this way. When you're controlling them like this, be careful that this leg over here is going to try to take your back. And so you can immediately step on the other side of that leg and then hold it and come this way and start stepping behind them. At least now you're behind them. So now you're in a better position. You still have the seatbelt, you're behind them. Don't just pull them right to the ground right now. Just kind of stay here for a second, see what they do. Give you a chance to try to get your hooks in. Right? So this is the position you could start in. You can start attempting to learn the choke and start trying to apply it here for a second, give them some pressure, give them something to think about, and then they're going to try to turn into you. And then that's when you can go ahead and shoot your legs out and go for a guard.
Okay.
I'm talking about me.
No.
So everything I'm doing here is to either get them into, I'm trying to either pull them across into a guillotine if you know how to do it, or to hold them here and try to apply a guillotine. Again, look how to do a guillotine if you want to try. If that's something you want to attempt to do, it's a good time to do it. So learn some videos. There's tons of ways to learn how to apply the guillotine. All right, so anyway, that's all for now. That's the basics you need to know when you're in that fighting. The main goal is as you twist around, grab a wrist, double, pull them into your guard, or pull them into a back mount, and then from there either let them turn into your guard or try to attempt a seatbelt hold there and then let them turn into guard if you don't know how to do a choke, or even try to apply the choke. Doesn't work, let them turn around into your guard. Keep your legs tight. The other thing is just pull them into your guard. The other thing is push them into your full, your first point, your first line of defense, your feet and your legs. So you're pushing your hips out and you're pulling an arm, 2-on-1, and you're pushing their hips out and wrapping around like I showed you to get the mount that way. Not the mount, sorry, get the guard. And then that's pretty much it. Those are the three main things you're trying to do. Just 3 simple things you're attempting to do. So really quickly overview here. The 3 things you're attempting to do from here as you're wrist fighting is you're trying to get a 2-on-1. So you're going to grab the wrist here, and pull, and then so first I pull here, and then I slide up the arm behind the elbow, makes it harder for them to get away. I slip my foot here to their hip. I start to push their hip back, creating some space. This makes it really hard for them to do anything. Try to do something. And then once I do, I can get them into my full guard. So that's one option. The other option to do that is just a straight, you're fighting here, and as you're fighting, wrist fighting, they're trying, you can grab your head, whatever, they get out, you grab 2 arms, pull, and you immediately come right to you don't even push on the hips, you just pull them right into your guard. The other one is, as you're fighting, and they grab a 2-on-1 on you, boom, remember, push, take this arm, swing it around, so you can grab this wrist. This is kind of hard to see, so I'm pushing here, imagine this arm's still here, this arm, they got 2-on-1, this arm circles around, so I can grab their wrist and it's kind of twisted. This arm is already here, remember? Now I just slide it down to the elbow. I pull them fast to here. Now I can come in and start taking like a side back control. And then I can start working that in. Now from here, they might actually try to twist all the way over. It's fine, they're going to twist right into your back control. Now if they're smart, they're going to try to twist the other way. And as they do, you want to follow them, and you want to put this foot over here. Now you can try to get your hooks back in. Come in up here. Now you're here, and just sit on your butt right here. And you can come in for a seatbelt, and then you can get a hook in, come in for a seatbelt here, and then you can break, or you can even grab their arm, double arm, take in. And as I do this, I'm going to have to do this slow because I don't want to hurt her. Now you have the arm trapped when you come into here, boom. Now I have an arm trapped here. So then I can come up while I'm holding this arm. I can start working this arm in, let go of that arm, come around, I got a rear naked choke. So those are just some things to work on. But just mainly work on those 3 things. Those are the 3 things that you really want to try to do. You want to try to get double arm control. That's your main goal. If you learn a good guillotine, you can attempt that. So if you learn a good guillotine, you can attempt to reach in and pull them like this. And then instead, when they try to pull their arm, they're going to try to, they're going to try to sink arm around. Instead, pull your arm on this side and around and grab the head this way. You can actually do it from grabbing it on the arm as well. You can still pull the guillotine. That's if you practice guillotine, but anyway, the main thing is you want to practice is those 3 things that I showed you. Practice those 3 things, work on those 3 things, and this whole entire game will seem totally different. Other things you can do too, as they start scooting towards you, like this, into your Xing, you can just push their knees. And don't let them, you can just push their knees here, and prevent them, and then push their knee, and then swing your arm. Grab their double, pull them in to some kind of control here, where you have a control. Now you can try to push them to the side, and then now you got side control. Boom. Okay, so that one's a little different than most. You don't want to go through it, so I don't want to give you too much overload, but that is another way you can go from here. But basically, just keep in mind that you can do little pushes against the knee right here because your arm's still tight. What you don't want to do right now is push against here because you are vulnerable to attack, but they can swing their legs up right here and pull you into an arm rush. I don't know how to do it, but it really sucks. And so,
I can imagine how to do it.
I would block it by defending that foot right there, by the way.
If I went, get my foot there. Oh no, I opened it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Doing it?
So notice I just stay patient. I'm not in no danger. I know they can't choke me, so.
Choke. It's not working.
So I just stay patient here. Eventually get into a better position. I'm just holding side control.
Ow!
Now I got full out. So sometimes just being very patient is important, but you don't want to be patient when they have you in a really bad position. You want to get out of that position. You also don't want to be patient when you're in the fist fighting stage. Not fist fighting, when you're in the hand fighting stage. That's not, you want to be patient, but you don't want to just sit there forever. That's when you're expending your energy. That's when you're trying to pull them into one of those 3 positions. Either pull them to where your feet are on their hips, you want to stretch them out so you can get to the guard, or just pull them right into your guard, or pull them into kind of space. So thank you for watching. Go ahead and leave your comments in the video what you think of this. Let me know if this gets you back into jiu-jitsu or if they help jiu-jitsu.
Or just like the video.
Yeah, just like the video. Try to find a training partner and then go through those drills and all the drills in this video. Go through everything in this video. Practice as much as you can. Matter of fact, just watch this video. Just that hand fighting thing, and those, you don't need a partner for that. Just watch this video and then going into your next jiu-jitsu practice. And when you're rolling with someone, like, hey, I just want to kind of practice on my defense. If you just try to do one of those 3 things as you're doing the snaking, and then grab the arm, they grab a double, you do a push, a snake grab, double pull drag, and pull them into one of your positions that I taught you, one of those 3 things, and then work from there. And I guarantee your whole entire game will be that much stronger. Like, wow, that was pretty cool. And then if they start to smash you, now at least you know your defenses, your 3 points defenses, and then how to shrimp out of it. So that last point of defense, I want to just go over that one more time. And then if I run out of space wholly, just remember that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And going back for a second.
You want me to be a partner?
So they smashed me all the way down. My last point of defense now is my elbows. Remember, you're shrimping off this foot, the one that's farthest away from the opponent smashing you. So they're smashing me on the side you're viewing. They're smashing on this side. So this is the leg I'm going to shrimp off on this shoulder. So I'm pressing this against their throat if I can. As if they're smashing me, always get your arms in tight and so you can press against their throat. There's many other advanced ways to get out. This is a simple way you can learn it. I'm going to take this foot and lift up and shrimp out and get your knee back in. and then turn in and get this foot back in. Now you got butterfly guard, and then move it back to guard. Right? So that's how you get out of them smashing against you. And then once you got guard, you know how to flip it back into where you're in full mount. My hair's all sweaty and down. Okay. We've been recording for a super long time even before this. Lost a lot of video, so. Alright guys, thanks for watching.
Woo!
Thumbs
Thank
up.
you.
Thumbs up the video.
Double peace.
We appreciate it. Oh, of course, only if you truly believe in thumbs up because it's good or whatever. Helps you out. And definitely try this. Now you know the basics. And now that you know the basics, it should really help you game. And now you shouldn't get totally smashed and beat up and sparring and rolling in jiu-jitsu. And if this does help you, please come back. I mean, I don't expect to get, you know, it's probably take a week or so before I start getting comments like, hey, I tried that out in the gym or the dojo, whatever. I tried out at my jiu-jitsu center, and I did way better. Before I was just getting smashed. I had no idea what was going on. Now I was able to stay somewhat patient. I had a decent idea what was going on. The beginning game was totally different. You know, I managed to get a pull, and I managed to slide them into my guard, and that was awesome. And then they got right out of it, and they got me some arm bar or whatever. But at least you're better than before. Now you understand what's happening and what they're going for. If you want to see more videos about the most basic fundamental stuff of what to watch out for, because a lot of videos teach you how to transition all that, but they don't really teach you what to watch out for. You know, to know when they're going for something else and how to defend it. Like, oh, they're doing this movement, I know they're going for something else. And then how to defend that. I can make some future videos on some more basic stuff that would pertain to that. But again, thanks for watching.
Double peace. It won't end like this. Ah!